Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Voices of Atlas Ep.9. I forgot our name for a second. I'm not going to lie. But welcome to a very special episode for this week where we're talking about the movie that brought us all together, as I like to think. Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings with the man-hunk called Simu Liu in it.
10. Episode 10. It's
episode 10, technically, if you count our bonus episode, but we count it anyways, just so that it works really well with this episode.
Yeah.
But before we get into it, let's all introduce ourselves real quick.
Yeah.
Nick, would you like to start us off?
Right. How's everyone's been?
Oh my god.
I'm Super Nikendra. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. TikTok is Amazing Nikendra. And I am talking about Robbie Reyes like I do every week. So if you want to hear me talk about that, go follow me everywhere else. Laiba, go ahead.
Hi everybody, I'm Laiba Hazaro, also known as Mixed and Anxious on TikTok, and I met Robbie Reyes, but we're gonna talk about that later. What?
Nick is just seething at his teeth.
I was living that day, man. I was living that day through Laiba.
I am not nearly as impressive or have anything to do with Robbie Reyes, but I'm Victoria. You can find me at Victoria Organa everywhere. You know, I've been talking a lot of Taylor Swift too, in addition to the regular MCU stuff. And, you know, I feel like the Venn diagram of like Swifties and MCU fans, it like is a the circle in between is people who like to overanalyze things.
Yeah.
And I think I sit right there.
Fair. And for everyone at home listening right now, I am the Marvelous Johnny on TikTok and on Instagram. That is Marvelous with 2 L's. And on Instagram, there's an underscore between Marvelous and Johnny. And if you're on video today with us, you can see me and my little twin. His name's Dumpling. Or as many of you at home might know him as Morris.
I was very tempted to tell you that like that was backwards because it just doesn't have a phase.
Honestly,
yeah, it just doesn't. Yeah, okay.
Please, by all means, people, tell me which end is right. I still can't tell. I think it's this side with the wings.
Yeah, the wings gotta go this way.
Yeah.
Cool.
So that's us. Be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and watch us later on YouTube if you guys can't watch all of this today, because this is honestly such an eventful episode, in my opinion. Yes. And yeah,
leave us a review. Give us
a review. We want to read more of your guys' Apple
10
reviews.
rings, 5 stars.
10 rings.
There we go. 5 times 2 is 10. There you go.
2 rings per.
Review us twice.
2 rings per star. Yeah, review us twice.
Beat up someone, make them review us. That's how it goes.
Anyway.
But yeah. Would we like to explain how some of us know Robbie Reyes before we get into the Shang-Chi stuff? Because I'm not going to be able to stop talking when we start.
Laiba, this is your story.
It's Nick's brother, actually. You can see the picture
behind me. There I am. I was a mess that day. I was not ready.
I'm pretty sure you were less of a mess
wasn't
than
ready.
Nick was.
She wasn't ready to fall in love that day.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Calling you a sweet darling.
Stop it. So I had the lovely opportunity to meet Gabriel Luna, who is shooting here in Alberta right now. He's shooting The Last of Us, but on I think Saturday it was I believe he posted that he was going to do a meet and greet at a comic book store, and I immediately sent it to Nick. And he was like, "You better go," and I was like, "Okay, I'm not doing anything, so I'll go." So I brought my Last of Us game with me to get it signed, and then I got there. First of all, really cool place. It's called Saddle City Comics. The guy was so sweet. He gave me a free comic book.
Oh.
And the reason why he gave me a free comic book is because I told him about the podcast and like why we call ourselves the Voices of Atlas. And I was like, yeah, because there's like the Agents of Atlas. He was like, have you heard of Marvel Voices? And I was like, yeah, I think so. And then he told one of his workers to go in the back and see if they have one. And the guy comes out with like 5. He's like, do they have like the Asian one? And I thought I was gonna buy it, and I was like, okay. So I pulled out my wallet, and he's like, "No, take it for free." And I was like,
Oh.
"Really?"
I work in a comic book store and I don't even get to do that.
Oh man.
He was the owner, and yeah, he was so sweet. But yeah, it's a comic book store in Calgary. I'm gonna go there every
Go
time.
check them out.
Yeah, go check them out. They're on
Yeah.
go check it
Instagram.
out.
Me and Nick
Yeah.
are gonna try and convince Laiba to start reading comics like us. And
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Be nerdy.
I have one.
Yeah. Oh.
Hey, brothers and
Do
sisters.
I have that one too? Maybe.
I think we all
Yeah.
have that one.
I only have it in singles.
But anyway, got there, waited for a while. The man played guitar for us. He sung, and I couldn't see him because I was still a little far back because I was the last one to be there.
You were probably like not 6'3" to see him.
I wasn't
Mhm.
6'3". No, I was behind a bunch of other tall people, and I was like, he's playing guitar. And then I was looking through somebody's phone who was filming. So I was looking through the screen and I could hear it. And I'm like, wow, that guy has a nice voice. And then it gets closer and closer. And then I see him and I was like, that guy's really handsome. And what he does is that he was sitting behind a table, but like whenever somebody new comes up, he'll like will get up out of the table and stand in front of the table and talk to you.
That's
And
rare.
then, yeah, it's really rare, and he's so like sweet. And then he like walked out, and I went, "Oh my god!" I was like,
I'm in love.
It's like my heart skipped a beat, and I was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "Hi, I'm Gabe." Blah blah. He introduced me to himself, and then I was like, talking about the podcast, talked about Nick, showed him Nick's art, and I didn't realize that I was like freaking out until I grabbed my phone and I was trying to type on my phone to unlock it and I was shaking. I was like so that happened, and I didn't know that he was gonna film a video for Nick
Oh
because
man.
I was just gonna get a comic book signed for you and like if they had anything else. So I was gonna get that signed for you, and I told Johnny beforehand, and I was like, I'm thinking I'm gonna do this, and this.
Yeah.
And then and then he signed the comic book, he signed the picture, and then he's like, let's make a video. And I was like, what?
The fact that it was Gabriel Luna's idea for that.
I
for
know.
you,
He's
Nick.
like, I gotta make a video. And we were talking about like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We were talking about
Last
like
of Us
him
for
as Robbie,
sure.
yeah, The Last of Us, him as Robbie Reyes. And I was like asking him, and I was like, do you think you will show up in the MCU? He's like, you know what? It's canon. And so then, yeah, he did the video, and then I realized this man was holding my phone already because he was signing your picture, right?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh God, he held my phone. And then I turned on my camera, and then he was like, he did the video, and I didn't know he was gonna call me that.
Oh.
And then he
Darling.
did. And then like you could see because I'm in the video too. And I was like, hi Nick.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God. And then he did like after the video, we talked for a couple more minutes. So like total we were talking for like 10 to 15 minutes maybe. But
That's
yeah,
a while.
he likes talking to people.
Awesome.
Like, and he
the
was
fact
like,
that he's that wholesome is amazing.
Yeah.
he's so wholesome. I mean, it was completely free.
Man.
Like he didn't charge
Yeah.
for anything.
Damn.
He just wanted to meet the people.
He
Love
literally
the
just
people.
wanted
I
to
love
meet
that.
the people. And the
Yeah.
owner told me, he was like, yeah, he came in and was like, he wanted to do like a meet and greet because he loved a comic book shop. And then the guy was like, yeah, sure, when do you want to do it? And he was like, this Sunday. And then he's like, okay, yeah, so next week. And he's like, no, this Sunday. And the guy was like, okay. But yeah, that was. And then he posted me on his story.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
He posted you on his story. He posted that picture that you have right now. Like
Out of
on
all
his
the
story.
people he saw, he picked.
People who
he
follow
chose-
Gabriel Luna now know your face.
Yeah.
Right now because Pedro Pascal follows him, and I can't. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, what
Guys-
if Pedro goes to that comic book store
Stop.
soon?
Oh, it's gonna be hell. They were talking about. What if we had the Mandalorian here? They're like, no, it's gonna be hell.
Yeah, that's
Like
a-
it's gonna
They
be.
would need
they need
security.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
Yeah, but this was really chill, and it was really wholesome and sweet. But yeah, I don't know. I loved it. It was so
When-
great. And then we like DM'd, and I'm like, because I saw my phone, I like looked at it, and it was like Gabriel Luna mentioned you in the story, and I was like, you fucking what?
What?
I was like,
Hey,
what?
Pasa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta try to insert, at least in the audio version, that clip, Nick.
Oh yeah, I
Gotta-
will. I'll try to.
gotta put it in. You can cut-
Here's
do
for
it
the
here.
for the audiences that are watching it on YouTube, we'll insert it right here. And then if you're listening to it on a podcast, I'll insert the audio clips of what he said. Pause for effect. All right, that's good enough for me.
Oh, wow, that was so cool.
Yeah,
Oh, that
wow,
was
that's so
cool.
amazing.
Can you
Oh my
believe
god, I
that?
He
can't
said
believe it's
what?
what?
He
Oh
called
my
I'm
Laiba
kidding.
darling.
No, when
Such a good
Laiba,
man too.
so Laiba didn't like. We have a group chat where we talk about like the podcast and stuff. And Laiba had sent me the video that he had made through Instagram, and I was at work when this was happening, and I was having
so
like.
funny.
I was having like a mental breakdown. I was like shaking at work because like she had just got me right at the end of my lunch, and I was like, I could not clock back in. I was like looking at my manager, and I was like, "You gotta see this because I'm living a dream right now."
It was so funny.
I could not function
That
for
was
like
perfect timing.
I couldn't. It was like it was everything that like it's so weird because it's like okay, you might think like oh maybe I would have preferred to have been there myself. No, it's a video. I can literally live it all the
You
time.
can replay it for
I
days.
could replay it all the time, and that's
You
just
have that forever.
I could have that
DM'd
forever.
you.
He did. He
DM'd
did.
me.
He did. After like he had posted the story, I had DM'd him and I was like, "Thank you so much for this video. You're such an inspiration to me and like many others. Thank you so much. Keep being amazing." And he's like no problem, brother. And then he like does the whole skull fire thing.
I love doing that.
On brand. But yeah, that moment lasted that whole thing made not just my day, like my whole week. I was living for it. I was dead. I really couldn't move. I was shaking. Thank you, Laiba, for making that happen for me.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Yeah, that was-
In
it was
short, we
Luna.
all are canonically in the MCU now.
Yeah, because
We're all
if
in
he
it.
said we're
Is-
canon, he said we're
Exactly.
canon, which means if I'm on this show, then you're all canon
There
because
we go.
we exist as a form of media.
That means
Um,
all of our followers and listeners.
Ah.
Oh,
Tyler's
see, guys,
canon in the MCU.
that's the only
You
thing.
guys
you
are canon.
guys are canon.
All our friends out there, you're canon.
You're canon.
Canon.
Welcome.
This man said
Fantastic. Welcome to the MCU.
it.
Um,
Welcome, guys.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to the
It
MCU.
was so funny because
Uh,
after I left, I like walked out the comic book store, and then I like immediately I was like I need to like not accidentally delete the video, so I'm like I have to send it to Nick, and then I like tag him, and I'm like I tag him on Discord. I'm like Nick, and he's like what? Huh?
I was like waiting a little bit. I was like, I need to know what happened while she was over there.
And then it took such a long time to send.
I
it
was
on
like radio
Instagram.
silent for a while, so we were worried.
Yeah, because Laiba fell
Laiba.
in love.
Yeah, Laiba did
Live
fall
was
in love.
now a Robbie stan.
Robbie.
And
He's
Nick could not
so
be happier.
tall.
How tall
my
is
God,
Is
he?
he
There's a
6'3"?
He's really tall, but there's a picture of him. I looked like ass in it, but like there's a picture of him looking down on me, and I'm like, oh my god. I like was scrolling through my phone, and I was like, oh my god. But yeah, no, he's really tall. Let's look. And I just
I'm
found out
looking it up. Don't worry.
See, I should play.
I have the same
See,
birthday.
this is now my campaign that I should play Gabe in the Robbie Reyes movie. I should play Gabe as the little brother. No, that'd
He
be
already
probably
has
not.
one. They already
Yeah, I
cast
know.
it.
All right, look at me and look at. That's all.
He's at least 6 foot. Is
Yeah.
what I can see.
Oh my
online.
god, Johnny's
So,
taller than
He's
Robbie Reyes.
5'11"
it says he's-
and 1/4.
Oh man. Okay.
So in
Nice.
short, I'm taller than Ghost Rider.
When I had posted
He's
that video, on,
183 centimeters.
when I posted that video on TikTok, everyone was like, "Why do you guys look the same?" And I was like, "No, you don't." I
But you
kept-
guys do.
I
I
kinda
do, I'm
do.
sorry. You
I
do.
saw it a little bit,
With the
like when you posted the
mustache
video.
shade.
Like
Yeah,
Nick, how
yeah.
tall are you again? You're 5'8".
I'm 5'8". Yeah, I'm 5'8".
So like, if you wanted to, you
Look
could
at the
probably be his
eyebrows.
stunt double.
I'm telling you, I could be Gabe. I could be the little brother in Ghost Rider.
Listen, we're calling
In
him
a
Gabe
wheelchair.
because he allows us to call him. Gabe.
Yeah. No.
Okay, there we
Well,
go.
like it's funny because like Robbie Reyes' brother is called Gabe, and like he had.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna play Gabe in the movie.
So you're gonna be Gabe.
Yeah, and he's
Gabe's
gonna be his little
and
brother.
Gabe's gonna be
And
Robbie.
Gabe's gonna be Robbie.
And Gabe's gonna be Robbie. And that's there it is. Boom. I have
Canon.
literally.
Oh my God.
I don't know what was possessing me today. I was possessed by the spirit of vengeance today, where I like wrote out or where I said the entire plot of how I'd write Robbie Reyes back into the MCU. It's sitting in my drafts right now, and I'm like, oh man, I want to post this, but I've already
And
posted
it's
too much today. Oh man. All right.
Oh,
I think
All right.
that was my.
Are
that
you
was,
two done fanning?
Yeah.
fanning out, I guess?
Yeah. Never.
If you don't
Pulse
cut them
back in?
off, they'll go on
Yeah,
forever.
we'll go on
I was gonna
forever.
say. All
No,
right.
please.
Also, what's everyone drinking today, by the way? Because
Oh yeah.
my
We
dumbass
have
only has
boba.
water,
Yeah. Boba.
This
except for
is
me because I was
brought to you
stupid.
by Boba. I went
Seamo's
to the
favorite
alley.
drink.
It's bougie as fuck. I have a tiramisu crunch milk tea.
Ooh.
Less ice, less sugar.
What about you, Laiba? What
And
do you
it's delicious. And it tastes like espresso.
I went to Cha Time
Mhm.
and I got. Oh my god, what did I get? I got a passion fruit QQ, 30% sugar and 80% ice.
And I
You may-
have a place called Ding Tea. Mine is a caramel milk tea with sea salt cream on top.
And
Nick, what's your
I-
milk? What's your sugar and ice?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Just regular?
I just asked. I guess
Oh,
regular.
regular.
Yeah.
Wait, Johnny, what's yours?
I usually go to a place called Zinfutan,
Uh-huh.
and I will usually get their matcha strawberry
Oh.
boba,
Uh-huh.
a little bit like Simu himself,
Uh-huh.
because he does love that drink as well.
Right.
But if I'm not close enough to one, I'll go to a place called Coco near my work, and I get this drink
Ah.
called Three Guys.
I love
Oh.
There's
cocoa.
tapioca
Coco's-
pudding in it. There's grass jelly and your boba, and I usually get that.
That
half
one's
sweet.
good.
So good. I love Three Guys.
Man. Yeah. I mean, love being downtown because I had like my pick of the litter. I could have went to Coco, Cha Time, Alley. I could have went everywhere.
It's that you want with a tiramisu boba, which I respect.
What's
Yeah,
everyone's
it's
like?
a dessert and it's delicious. It's
Yeah.
a fancy one.
What's everyone's like go-to
Not my usual
order?
order.
Yeah. What's your usual
Oh.
order?
Go to order.
This one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm impulsive. It
'Cause I have it
depends on the
everywhere.
day.
Three Guys usually.
I
And
usually.
that's the one I get the most.
I'm always like down for sea salt anything, except sea
does
salt
sound good.
mocha or like chocolate. I'm not a big fan of chocolate, so I don't go.
Oh
with,
wait,
like, sea
actually,
salt
my
chocolate.
usual is like I like to go to like somewhere like I don't know, like ones with less fancy things and get like a gen matcha or whatever, or
Ooh.
some of the actual like tea flavored
Right.
milk tea. That's
Um,
like if I had to pick, but I'll just like be impulsive on whatever flavor
You always want to try
because it
something
depends
new.
on the mood. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll
I,
usually
I'm
drink-
usually set in my orders on most things,
Mhm.
but bubble tea
Oh,
does not follow that pattern.
Variety.
Yeah, I feel
Yep.
you. Yeah. It,
All right.
It depends when it's like cold. Like if I ate or something, I don't want milk tea, so I'll usually get like a fruit tea.
Fair. Fair,
With,
fair.
like, star jelly or something.
Okay.
I love pudding topping. Oh,
Also,
so good.
really love coconut jelly in my drink sometimes. too.
Coconut
Yeah.
jelly also so good.
So good. So good. I had some, was it on Tuesday? I had 3 cups of boba in the one day
We should.
because I was doing food safe training next to my college. And just, we had 3 breaks and I went for boba each time.
We should. We should.
I miss
make-
university because we had so many boba, not so many, but we had enough boba shops around. And we had a lot of Asian international students at our school
Yeah.
too. I was also in engineering. So they were around. It's so good to have that right 2 steps from campus.
Hell yeah.
We
we
should
love
make
that.
an official Voices of Atlas like flavor combo.
Boba drink.
Yeah.
Order.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know what
Yeah,
it'd
we'll,
be.
we'll,
Oh my
we'll,
god.
we'll start brewing that
We'll,
one.
fi-
in
yeah,
our
we'll
breaks.
figure it out.
Should have taro in it.
Yeah, I love taro.
Taro's good. Taro's good.
Taro
All
and red
right.
bean.
Now, I know everyone's angsting to talk about Shang-Chi, but before we do, something huge came out. Not as huge as we personally think, but like the entire internet blew and just shat itself over it. It's the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Thoughts?
Loved
Any
it.
discussion? Laiba loved
I
it.
loved it.
Nick,
It
you
was
seem
fun.
salty about it.
No, like I loved it. Like I liked it. I thought it was good. Like in the moment when I watched it, it was great. And then like I watched it a couple more times, and then I sat with it for a couple days. I'm like, what did this trailer do? Not much.
Amazing.
Nick
Did-
just
I mean,
sits
that's
there
the
and
point,
goes,
though,
"That
right?
suit is ugly."
That suit is ugly.
The
Oh,
magic
which one?
suit,
And I think all of
Oh,
them are
the
pretty
black
ugly.
magic suit.
I
Yeah.
like
I
the black
still
suit.
miss the Homecoming suit. That's my favorite.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
How
But
about
yeah.
you, Victoria?
I can't tell them apart.
That's the problem.
I only
I
know
think
Spider-Man.
both hot toys. I have
Well,
to be able
like,
to tell.
I
them
know
apart.
I don't like the shiny one. Thoughts on the trailer. You know what? I was pleasantly surprised by it. I only watched it the once.
Okay,
Only one time.
I rewatched it.
That's
quite a bit,
all
I'm
I
not
needed.
gonna lie.
Actually, no, I scrolled to the part where people were like, "Oh, this is where they CGI'd out the other Spider-Mans,"
Mhm.
and I was like trying to like double check how many villains were fighting. I was just like, "Is it 3 or is there 4?" Because
Yeah.
where's Venom and Eddie?
Yeah.
where are they gonna?
Where
come into?
is Venom?
I want Venom. I know he's probably just gonna be a post-credit thing, but like
Something
I want
like
him
that.
to show up and just like, because he just wants to like go and see Spider-Man. And I
Yeah.
don't think he wants to attack him. I think he just wants to hang out.
I hope he doesn't
meet
attack
him.
him. But
So I
we'll
want him
see.
to like go and like, oh, maybe does he save MJ?
Yeah.
Probably not, but I'd like to think so.
Oh, Laiba,
I'm
what?
putting this out there though, because if it happens, I
Yeah.
predicted that.
There we go.
Laiba, what did you
Yeah.
love about the trailer?
Me?
Yeah, what did you love about it?
Oh my
Since you're
god.
like in love with it.
I was waiting all day for this.
Oh my
trailer.
god, you were one of those people.
So I wasn't sitting
Nothing
there.
wrong
but
with
I was
people.
I'm joking.
I-
I'm joking.
I wasn't sitting there waiting for it, but like I went to class, I went to campus, came back, did my online school, and my
At least we
Online-
knew what time it came out.
yeah, my online class ends at like 7. So I was like, the trailer comes out at 6:30, and then my professor ended it early, and I was like, bye. And I sat there waiting, and then I did it on Scener with a couple of my other friends.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
fun.
it was so
That's
fun. And I don't know, it made me so excited to see, oh my god, just to hear Green Goblin
Mhm.
give Peter advice. I'm like, oh, I don't know. I
You're
loved it. It was really
sure
nostalgic.
I love that the moment of like, you're not Peter Parker.
Yeah, you're not
I
Peter
love
Parker.
that part.
That was a funny line.
I think that's what I'm most interested
We
in.
know
It's like,
you know.
yeah, it's like this relationship between Doc Ock and the rest of the cast. It's like, what? Because he's not really evil. Like, he is, but
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Like,
It should be interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Like,
But yeah.
again, like sitting with it for a couple days, it's like I'm excited for it still. But like, did it make me an honorary spirit of vengeance? No, it didn't. So that's
gosh.
that's
Did I feel represented in it? No, not yet.
no, not at all.
You know what I
did it make me
find
canon?
interesting
No.
is if like the bad guys will just try to kill Peter up until they find out it's not their Peter.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
That's-
is gonna
okay, yeah,
happen.
okay,
Like,
so-
are they gonna have like a
Yeah.
moment of realization? Be like, am I just doing it because he's a Spider-Man, or do I not like all Spider-Man?
There has to be like a
Like-
purpose. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, what is the purpose for all of these villains? Like,
Multiverse story.
The
That's really about it.
multiverse.
that's just. But
Because
like,
I feel like
you know
once
what
I
I mean?
find out it's not their Spider-Man,
yeah, like,
they'll like back off. But then like their Spider-Mans might come.
hmm
So are they gonna get mad again? Like,
yeah, like what's the
what
catalyst?
point were they plucked from the timeline
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
for them to be that mad?
Right.
Maybe.
But also, like, are they
'Cause
from
maybe they're
the
just chilling
original
at
movie
home.
timelines? Is the
I don't know.
question.
See, like, there's
Because
too
like
many
Electro
questions.
looks hella different.
Yeah,
He's not blue.
Mhm.
not blue.
He ain't
No
blue,
blue.
and whether or not he has his teeth gap is another question I have.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I was thinking that too. Like, what is the villain's catalyst for like doing anything? I don't know their purpose.
And they're just disoriented and
Yeah,
they
it's
see
like
a
they're
Spider-Man.
they're villains for just being the sake of villains, and I'm just like, if that's
I mean, Green Goblin, I can see why he wants to kill Spider-Man.
yeah, but like all the rest of them, it's like, what is
I
Sandman
don't
wanna do?
get Sandman's. I don't get. You know what? Lizard, I can
Exactly.
kind of see.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why this Spider-Man? Like,
Yeah.
why
Yeah,
him?
like,
Is it
why?
because he's Spider-Man and they don't know?
I
like,
mean,
what he
they
looks
don't
like
know
underneath?
until
Doc Ock is
His
like,
mask is
you're
off,
not
right?
Peter.
Yeah.
Well, because
But
like,
personally, I quite like the fact that we have an idea of what the story is, which actually intrigues me now and actually makes me look forward to the movie because I wasn't
Yeah.
before.
well, because like, I don't know, because throughout the trailer, you really don't see Doc Ock fighting Spidey besides that fight on the bridge.
Yeah.
Like, in the other scenes, he's like fighting the other villains. So
Mhm.
it's
people
like
were
maybe they're
saying
working
like he's like
together.
the mentor.
Yeah.
I don't know
more
if he's
so
like a
than
mentor.
Doctor Strange, who-
I think he might be like the.
well, you screwed up, kid. Be like, it was you.
Can we just mention
Good
how
luck.
like
I would
Doctor
kill them if I
Strange
were you.
is just a gaslighter and just blames
Doctor
everything
Strange
on
is a
Peter? I did a whole video about this. I was like, why is he blaming Peter? He did the spell. Like it's
He's the
his
one who
fault.
willingly chose to do this, and
Yeah.
Juan warned him not to.
Yeah. And then he's
Juan's
like,
gonna come back and just like, what the
I
fuck?
mean, Doctor Strange lives for a little bit of chaos, but it's
Mhm.
so funny though. It's just like, well, you gotta kill him, kid. Well,
Scooby Doo this crap.
Send him back. You do you.
Yeah.
I'm not helping.
But yeah,
I'm
those
just
are our
saying.
thoughts on the No Way Home trailer. We will have a more in-depth discussion when the movie comes out, which seems appropriate considering how hyped this film is. But
Yeah.
more than likely, we're not gonna have an episode the week it comes out, so we're all seeing it like
Oh,
opening
I'm-
night.
true.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
Um,
Christmas. It'll be
That's the week of Christmas
January.
too. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
definitely. But whatever
Yeah,
the
people
following
celebrate
week is,
Christmas.
we'll have a jam-packed episode for.
We'll have a Hawkeye and Spider-Man episode.
Oh yeah, so
I don't know.
be ready for
That
that.
seems fitting. Now then, let's get into Shang-Chi. So for anyone who hasn't seen this movie yet, I'm ashamed to even have you here. Because how can you
Actually-
be following us and not have seen Shang-Chi yet?
Yeah.
fair. If you haven't,
Like-
just pause this.
Pause
save
the
this
video,
podcast.
Go do yourself a favor. Watch this
It's on Disney Plus.
2 hour and 45 minutes ish long movie. It's amazing. Your time will fly by. You will fall in love with the new MCU character. That is all. Go
Yeah.
watch
And then you
Shang-Chi.
come back.
And then you come back and then listen to us.
But,
there we go.
but you have to watch it at the minimum of how much Johnny watched it. And Johnny, how many times did you watch this movie?
28 times.
28
9 times in
times.
theaters.
28
Holy.
times, guys. I barely watched it
commitment.
like one time while it was on Disney Plus. Johnny watched it 28 times.
I thought 4 times on the first day it came out. By the second day, I'd watched it way too many times.
Oh man. that's-
Simu, if you're listening to this, you owe Johnny a check.
Yeah,
He paid for
No,
half
no, no.
of your check.
he did.
It's
No,
only
no, no.
right you should reimburse him
By-
for all of the promotion.
By showing up on this
he's given you.
podcast.
He doesn't need to give me a
come to
check.
the
Just,
I come to the
just come to the
podcast.
podcast.
Yeah.
Or,
I'll buy
What
the
I'm really
boba
hoping
if you're in town.
Yeah.
exactly, we'll buy the boba if you're in town. But also,
Marry
can I be in
me.
Shang-Chi too?
Two different
Marry
requests.
Laiba and let me be
Marry
in Shang-Chi
me.
too, I guess. He's like 34, Laiba.
So?
He's,
Age
you're
is just a number. I'm 20, almost 21.
Simu, if you come to Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, or LA, we've got you covered.
Yeah, you can stay. Sorry.
I got
my
a one.
Chinese household will make you all the food you
I got a
want.
1-bedroom apartment and 3 cats. What else do you need?
Timu is more of a dog person, I should state that. so.
Yeah.
I have a dog.
He can learn to
I
love.
had a dog.
He can learn.
But yeah, let's get into Shang-Chi now at last. What were your guys' prior thoughts like before going to see Shang-Chi and all that? Like even when it was announced.
History is happening. History is in the making.
Okay.
Very excited.
Fair.
I think when I had first heard of it, I think I was very like nonchalant and skeptical because I think I told you guys the first time I watched it, I was like in denial for like the first
Yeah.
half of the movie.
You thought Danny Rand was gonna pop up.
I really thought Danny Rand was gonna show up, and I was like, "This is it. Fucking white boy's gonna come in and take the rest of the movie." I didn't believe it until I watched it, and it was like an enlightening moment for me. And I think,
That is one Netflix series I am not rewatching right now.
yeah, do not watch it.
You can skip it,
yeah,
even though he pops up in Luke Cage season 2.
yeah,
And Defenders.
And
and Defenders, yeah,
Defenders.
yeah. That was my initial.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
thoughts, yeah.
But going into it, you know what? I don't really pay attention too much, or at least before the announcements and stuff. So like, I just knew it was slotted for the second half of this year, and I'm like, oh shit, it's coming up. Not
Mhm.
hearing too much about it, but the main thing that drew me to it is Simu just having so much joy about
Mhm.
posting about this movie. I'm like, I need to support this. I need to look this up. I didn't read any of the comics or anything before, but I'm like,
You're better off not
if
supporting them.
Yeah.
Homeboy likes and like is so proud and so confident and he loves this movie and he's very excited for this, I'm like, it's got to mean something.
Yeah.
So then I'm like looking into it and stuff. I'm just like, hold up, Bobby Bob Chapek, you're not treating
Oh,
this
God.
fairly.
Yeah.
But then yeah, that's my idea going in. But like I just knew it was going to be good too, especially even like the reviews when they started coming in and it was overwhelmingly positive. I'm like,
Hell yeah.
told you, don't write this one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. what was it for me? Like I remember when they announced. I remember when the rumors first started coming out about Shang-Chi, and I'm like, please, dear God, no, because this is not going to be proper representation based off my prior knowledge of the character. Because he is just the character's a caricature of Asian people in the comics, and it's really freaking racist. And then, like, you know, as San Diego Comic-Con comes by, they announce the film. I'm like, oh crap! I'm like, who's the director? Who's the main actor? And all that. It's like, cool. They have like an Asian person behind directing. Hell yes. They have Tony Leung as his father. I had to ask my parents who he was, and they're like, oh no, he's good. I'm like, okay, interesting. Simu comes out. I'm like, I'm sorry, John from Kim's Convenience is our Shang-Chi. And then that's when I started getting pulled in. And just, I remember the first trailer when it came out on Simu's birthday.
Oh
That
yeah, they
trailer-
gave it to him as like a birthday.
Oh
They
yeah,
gave it to him as
dude,
a birthday present.
that trailer was gas, man. That trailer was fire.
I
That's a way to
love
release
that
a trailer.
first trailer
Oh
so
my
much.
God.
I still rewatch that first trailer for the music
Me
alone.
too. Oh my
Fuck
god.
the Spider-Man No Way Home
I
trailer.
remember
Rewatch
living
the Shang-Chi
in that
trailer.
zoom shot when he's on the bus, and I was like, I was living for that shit. Was fire. I
It
was
was
like
great.
in it. I was
It's
like
a
this-
double kick.
Oh,
man.
One day.
loved it.
I do have to add this when the movie was coming out, I had seen Johnny's video on TikTok, and like I
talking about
stitched it.
this?
Yeah, we were talking about
I'm gonna
this.
cry.
No, because this is great. This is how we all met, and this is how we got here, and this is important. I'd stitched Johnny's video initially because I was also talking about like representation, and I was like, I take a very much more abrasive approach, like talking about this stuff, and obviously I'm no stranger to being mad about it. But yeah, like Johnny talked about it. I stitched his video, and then him
You
and I
sent
like
me the first message.
I did, yeah, because
Yeah.
I didn't get a lot. There was not a lot of traction of other people that were like talking about this movie,
Mhm.
and we had talked. And like this is like before you hit 1,000, so I was
This
like,
is before I hit 1,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the video that was bringing me up to 1,000.
yeah. So this was like a moment that we met, and then when I started doing more comic book content, I was getting more well versed in like people in the comic book circle, the comic book movie circle, and Laiba had a live, and she was talking about I forget what we were talking about. John, you and Johnny were talking about something.
We were talking about the music for Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
That was one of them. This is
And
like after the movie came out.
And I said it as a
yeah.
joke. I was like, podcast? Like, we should make a
Question
podcast.
mark.
What's so funny is that every time we mentioned Nick, he'd like
I just
You
show
would
up.
pop up. You would
All of a
come
sudden we're
in.
like,
Me and I was like, okay, wait, no, we're gonna mention Nick, but like, do we have to say it 3 times or something? Like, oh shit, here he is.
Yeah. And I joked podcast, and I was like, no, we could do this. That's like
We could do that.
not
You
impossible.
DM'd me. You're like,
I DM'd you, and I was like, I said I was
joking.
joking, but I'm like serious. And we thought about Laiba, and then you brought up Victoria because like obviously
did,
Victoria's like
yeah.
in the same circle of what we're talking about. And I was like, yeah, like let's do it because it can't just be 2 dudes talking about
Mhm.
this stuff. Like what's
No.
the difference from any other
I got the
podcast?
message and I was just like, yeah, bet.
Yeah, bet.
Well, no, because it's funny because like I remember that video I posted of Simu talking about what it felt like as a kid without an Asian
stitched
superhero. The both of you stitched it.
Yeah.
And that's how I started following Laiba, and that's how I started following you. But also your video on Bob Chapek is
Oh.
what also made me
Oh, yeah.
like draw my attention to you. But yeah, no, because like it's because of the Shang-Chi alone that has given you the Voices of Atlas podcast.
Yeah.
to say the
Mhm.
least.
So thank
Also,
you.
I want to give a shout out. I forget what the merch store is, but there is a small business who sells merch that says "Fuck Bob Chapek." Great.
Love it.
So yeah, it's a classic story of we joked about
Classic
it,
story.
and now it's a real thing. So
There you
crazy.
go.
it's so fun.
And, we were
And
like,
now
bet,
we're
then
all
like,
canon.
Bam, and we're here.
Yeah.
Now we're all
Now we're
canon to the
canon
MCU.
to the MCU.
The
we're
direction life has taken us, to say the least, because of this one film, is extravagant.
I'm now a ghostwriter. Live is in love with Gabriel Luna.
I've seen a movie 28 times.
We're about to be
And I'm here for a
related.
good time.
We're a good time. We had a Hot Noodle Twilight episode. We're having the best time of our lives on this show.
We really are.
Oh man. Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into the film at least now. Did anyone have a favorite moment besides the entire film?
It's hard to beat that bus scene.
Oh, it's fair.
Yeah,
I
because
cannot
that one's in
stop
San
talking about it.
Francisco too.
It's-
And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
And I'm like,
I know that
and I
street.
know that street, and I know that street, and I know
Yeah.
Funny
that
enough, there was
street,
this
and I'm
dude
like,
on Twitter who's an actual bus driver in San Francisco who
saw
was
that.
breaking down the bus.
He's like,
He's like, this is unrealistic because you would have like an emergency thing you could punch and actually it would still activate the brakes. I'm like, that's interesting.
Oh, my uncle was saying that too. He's just like, it's such a common myth. They always cut it, but like when it cuts, it would engage the brakes, and it doesn't like let it go and stop the brakes. But in the movies, they always do this. And I'm just like, thanks, bro.
give me more
Whatever.
intense bus driving lore. I need to know.
Here's the thing. I remember like the bus driver in the movie having headphones on, and then the person on Twitter go like, that's not allowed. He would be reprimanded. So I'm like, I have seen that so many times though in
Yeah.
Vancouver. Our bus drivers wear headphones a lot.
Dang, that's
So-
so funny.
Don't want to deal with
No.
the people.
Yeah. Leba,
I'll-
what was your favorite team, Leba?
I'll have to say, the beginning,
Mhm.
not when she's telling the story, but of how like
When they fall in love.
when they fall in love. Are
yeah.
you kidding me? Like that is it's so like I tear up every time I watch it because I'm like, bro, that shit is so fucking romantic. I was like, let me just stand in a forest real quick.
That one's so good.
It's
Mhm.
so good because like the fighting styles and like the
It's just like a dance. It's so
Mhm.
It really
Right.
was.
and like I love the part where like towards like at the end when she like literally throws him into the water and he's just like
Yeah.
so caught off
she
guard,
didn't
but
need
then
to
he's
do
like-
that, but she's
She
like,
did.
he
I'm
should
like,
be wet.
I just had my ass whooped. I'm into this.
And then he's like, wow, oh my god.
You see
So, like,
the
can we confirm when was the bottom?
yeah, definitely a ball. You see the moment he falls in love, you know, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like
Mhm.
It's the moment she's
so
just like
When do you
spinning him
think-
around by
when do
his
you
arm.
think
it's
he fell in love with
well,
her?
I think it's a spinning motion that they were in, you know,
Mhm.
like when he
They have that close out. He's just like, whoa.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
She's my equal.
Yeah, so it's
Not even his equal. She's better than him.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, that
Mhm.
scene's really good. Yeah.
That's it. Okay. I was gonna say I have, like it's not like the major scenes, but little scenes that I love. Number one, karaoke always.
Oh, yeah.
because
Especially
that is
with
something,
Juan.
especially in university and stuff with friends and stuff. We go karaoke, and it's just go the Korean places. It's the that's where you do it, and then we'd get like I forget what they're called, but the fish waffles
Mhm.
after.
Oh, yes.
made
The
fresh.
takoyaki?
Takoyaki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so good. It was like just outside of like the karaoke places. It's just so good. So that brings back those memories for me, but also just like I love Katie's family's house. Just like
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
nice little family moment, like abrasive grandma.
Yeah.
and I'm just like, this feels real. And
Yeah.
I appreciate this a lot in setting up the context and like the characters and stuff before it gets
Mhm.
to the phantasmical stuff. But I'm like, this is good.
Yeah.
Fair. I
Yeah.
think for me, it's either okay. I have three moments. So one, it's where he's in the water, and the dragon awakens pretty much, and then you just got like the slight flashbacks for Shun.
Mhm.
Second one is Laiba's background, where he's actually
I
fighting his
love
dad.
that
Oh,
moment.
yeah, that
I
fight's
love
real
it. That
cool.
is a
That's so
perfect
good.
combination of CGI and actual fighting, in my opinion.
Uh-huh.
And my third favorite is I posted it earlier today, where he's just doing like where he just launches the rings into the Dweller in Darkness,
Right. Right.
his
right.
mouth, and he's just like doing the
Oh, the
air martial
The-
arts pretty
yeah,
much.
the-
Yeah. And then like the final move he pulls off is just like the one his dad did like a few minutes earlier when fighting him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
love
one of
how
them.
the rings were in like the little
the 10 ring symbol, yeah.
circle.
Like a symbol that was originally used for evil has been used to save the universe.
Right. Yeah.
Poetry.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say on that. But also the bus fight is amazing, especially when he does the pose and then you
Right.
go pan out to the outside of the bus,
Mhm.
and then it's just like a moving comic book for me with the little
Right.
windows.
Yeah. you say- oh man, I also just love like the little details of like, oh, cut that girl's laptop.
Yep.
now. It's just so unnecessary, but like, kid's just like, he can't fight. And it's like zoom out. He's like, oh, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah,
He
it's like
can't
what the
fight.
hell?
She's just like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
I thought
That was
you were
one of my
a
favorites.
strong
And then
little guy.
you end on like the pad out scene with Shun doing a flying kick like Bruce Lee and Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat.
Mhm.
Perfect. Just this movie is perfect.
It's good. It's good.
Speaking of fighting, though, do we have a favorite fight?
The bus fight.
Nick, bus fight. I was gonna say, like you mentioned the bus fight.
The bus fight, and then like I'm always like torn between like the final fight between his father and then the scaffolding fight, because like the scaffolding fight's kind of hard to follow because it's like real dark. And there's a lot going on.
That was like a really good CGI. Too,
you do have to commend the
You get a little bit of
CGI.
rush hour in there.
Yeah, you get a little bit of rush hour. The CGI is tremendous because like that whole reflection is CGI, which means like they had to like hand paint everybody on there, which is
pretty
ridiculous.
much, and like just blurred at the right angle.
Yeah,
with
but
the
it's
right
so
reflection and
it's
lighting.
it's so dark, you know, and it's like I kind of got lost, like what's going on. But like I appreciate that scene. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate what it is, but it's like honestly, it's like really hard to follow. But the one-on-one fight between him and his father, both like
the one where he has the bow staff, or when he gets the rings.
Both. I think both are just fantastic because like you kind of just see both versions of Shang-Chi just like be angry and like you know, this is what you wanted, and like it really is like him being like a living weapon. Like he's ready to kill his father. And then the second fight, it's like different. It's like compassionate, and it's more like focused on like
love.
I understand you, but like you still have to stop. You know, like you can't. I can't let you do this. And it's two different. You kind of notice it too, both in like his fighting style and like just how aggressive he is. Like it's not the same as it was before, and I think that's great. So like those two, I'm gonna count that as one fight because it kind of just continues off from like him falling into the water. That is probably like my favorite one.
Yeah, I really like those two, and like as Laiba mentioned too, like the first one with the parents meeting for the first time. There's something I can't get over. The choreography is just very much like a dance, and it's just like this. It feels like this moment suspended in time of like the meeting, and just like because they're in this magical forest, and like also her mask is so. She's so pretty.
Cool. Yeah.
Paula Chen is beautiful.
And like, I don't know, there's something just so the flow in it is just like feels so right.
It does.
It's very like wushu.
Can't stop
like
it.
Wushu style like filmmaking, like Crouching Tiger, stuff like that. Yeah.
With some Tai Chi thrown in.
But like that final scene fighting his dad, like as you mentioned, Nick, too, like he had that anger and that aggression because he was like, oh yeah, I am a killer. My dad trained me to do that. So like he was like leaning too far one way to the other way to being like, oh fine, I'll just kill him, and be like, oh actually
I've definitely said
no, I need to have the balance. Fine, as my aunt said, my mom said.
I've definitely said that to my parents. Like, this is what you want, right? Like, this is fucking
like
an asshole.
Say,
right?
I've definitely said that shit to my mom or dad.
I have done
what
that.
You wanted,
like,
right? Like,
I've done that with my dad because, like, in one of the ways that I relate to this film is the tension between father and son. Because my dad is very traditional in that sense, like Wenwu, and you know, raised in the West, I'm more lax to say the least. So I definitely had that collision with him in such a way that just made me go, "Oh, too real."
Yeah.
Can I make a bad joke?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I relate to Shang-Chi because I lost a parent at 7 years old too.
Dad club, let's go.
Dad club.
Parents half off, let's go.
I got that
What did
orphan
you say?
money.
Parents half off.
Parents half off. Woo!
Yeah, I got half orphan money for a number of years.
Yeah.
Thanks, government, to help me pay for school.
Canada.
COVID relief.
But yeah, no, I had to throw that in there. Like, oh, I relate to parents.
Fair
the
enough.
relationship to his dad. Oh, I relate to the mom.
Yeah.
Dead.
And then eventually the dad.
Yeah. That it's a parent's
I'm
parents
like,
100%.
My mom hasn't tried to open a portal to another world to
No.
find my dad yet, so
Yeah,
I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
If she needs help, we'll help.
What about you, Laiba?
I really
Still the
love
first
the
fight?
fight. No, that's my favorite scene, but my
Oh.
favorite fight is the one between Shang-Chi and Xialing.
Yes.
She's so bad ass in that
She
scene
a
because you
baddie,
could just
for sure.
feel the anger and the hatred that she had towards her brother.
I love that the
for
entire
leaving
time
her.
they're speaking Mandarin.
Yeah, like I was like, next time I see my brother, I'm gonna fight him like that because that boy has not answered my text messages, so I'm exposing him right now.
Oh,
Does your
no.
brother not live with you guys?
No, he moved out.
Oh,
He
wow.
lives in Toronto. He's in Scarborough.
Oh wow.
I exposed his
Crazy.
address.
Scarborough mans.
Here's an
Of
add-on
course he
question.
does.
Does everyone have like a favorite kung fu film? And like, do you think that
Kung
relates?
Fu Hustle.
Kung Fu Hustle. Okay.
Yeah, or Ip Man.
Okay. I always see that meme from Kung Fu Hustle, like the original Ten Rings, and it's because he always uses the
Yeah.
rings
Yeah.
in Kung Fu
Iron
Hustle.
Yeah. What's the fight style? I think it's Wang Chun as well. Or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I thought it was Hungar.
Oh no, it's Hungar. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
It's
it's
Hungar.
Hungar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have a favorite kung fu movie. I
Rush
do
Hour does
remember
count.
watching Rush Hour with my dad, so I'd say that. I'm pretty sure he was alive then. That was like a 2000 movie.
That was an early 2000s film. Yeah.
What about you,
Yeah.
Laiba? Do you have like a kung fu film that's like?
Trying to remember which one it was. I think.
Is it a
Bruce
K-drama one?
Lee. It's Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Mm.
Enter the
Uh,
Dragon
No,
is really freaking good.
I'll just also say anything with Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan
Jackie Chan,
is
obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
best.
I have two. Well, two is one is A Drunken Master, which is like the film that put Jackie Chan on the map. But the more uncommon answer to that question is Shaolin Soccer, because that movie's so
I know that
ridiculous.
movie.
I love
I've
that
seen it.
movie,
That's a
man.
good movie.
I love
My
that
dad
movie.
showed me that movie after I saw Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, and like what sucks is like I've refound that movie, but I can't find it in the dubbing that I like, because like I had it originally and it had a specific kind of dubbing. But now when I find it now, it's not the same. And it's like I felt like the original one carried like a kind of weight to it that was like made it enjoyable.
To be fair.
Yeah, so that's fun. All right, cool.
I mean, beyond that, for the Kung Fu films and all, like me and Victoria mentioned like how we related to the film, besides my tension with my father and Victoria's relation with a dead parent.
I have more than that.
I'm sorry if
too.
I cross a line. I'm just,
No,
I really
no,
don't
I
know
was
where
gonna
to
say,
go with these
I
jokes.
relate to more than just a dead parent.
I was gonna ask us, like, in what ways do we relate to this movie?
I'm gonna just say Katie real quick.
Yeah,
Oh,
She's not
yeah,
good
dude.
at Chinese or her Mandarin, and she's very westernized. Doesn't use her Chinese name, and can barely pronounce it, which I can relate to. You know, I always say that I won't say my Chinese name because I'm sure I'm gonna say it wrong, and like I know my last name and stuff, but it's like family's Mandarin for context, but it's like Valen or Valen or Valen or something. I know Lin is kind of like vegetable something, but I don't know if it's like that kind of Lin, but
No, it's a different kind of one.
that's what it is, and I have just as much confidence as Katie saying that.
My
think,
dad
but-
pretty much ingrained in me that if I forget my Mandarin, fine. But the one thing to remember is my
Your name.
Mandarin name. Yeah.
What is?
Because
As one
my
who
grandma
says,
gave
name
it to
told
me.
meaning.
Yeah, Johnny, what's yours?
My Chinese name?
Yeah. If you're comfortable saying it, I'm sorry, I didn't mean
Yeah,
that.
I am.
Okay.
Do you want Mandarin and Cantonese or just one?
Whatever you're comfortable with.
All right, I'll do both. Mandarin is Zhou Lian Ying,
Uh-huh.
and my Cantonese one is Zhao Lin Yan.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Same spelling, just different being.
Yeah.
Mm.
Filipino culture doesn't really have anything like that. We just kind of like go with what we're named.
Oh, the thing about Filipino culture is that they will name you something, but then they will nickname you something else.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they will call you that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like my cousin, one of my cousins, because I have so many freaking Filipino cousins.
I feel that, but with just my Chinese side.
My mom has like 6 sisters, so
Mhm.
one of my
My
cousins,
dad has 6 siblings as well.
one of my cousins, his name is Prince Michael, but they call him Pom Pom because when my brother was younger and went to the Philippines, he had like really chubby cheeks, and that's what my brother would call him. So it's been like what 25 years.
25 years, yeah.
I love that.
My grandfather's name is my name, so my name is Constante. But as a kid, no one can say that. So I had like a pseudo experience of like no one could say my real name. But my middle name is Nick, so I go by Nick for basically everybody. But Constante is my grandfather's name, but nobody calls him Constante. They call him Papa Boy, and that's it. They call him Papa Boy.
Boy.
They call him Uncle Boy. No one calls him Constante. If anything, they refer to him as his last name, Samonte. I've heard that. And actually, when we went to the Philippines, like when I was like in like 10th grade or something, he said when I walk around the town he was from, because we had visited, he's like, don't just tell everybody you're my grandson, and they'll leave you alone. Because I guess prior in that town, his father was like the mayor, and I guess like his the school was named after him. So Constante had significance there, and he's like, yeah, just use your first name, and people will leave you alone. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it was really weird.
Interesting.
Oh, Johnny, I was gonna tell you my full name when the other two got here. So also a thing in Filipino culture, our names are like ridiculously long for some reason. So my full name is Constante Nicolas Bautista Castillo. Like that's my full Bautista Castillo. Yeah.
I love that.
So that's
I like
my
it. I like
full
it. It's not
name.
that long.
It's not.
It sounds nice together.
It does.
Yeah, it
sound
does.
nice, yeah.
But it's just like
I have a buddy
whenever.
whose last name, full Filipino, his last name's Cabadu.
Oh, interesting.
But like he would get called Cabbage Dude.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not
So-
nice.
That's not nice.
It's not. But at least you don't have something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a coworker that would call me Nick Stante, and I hated that. I was like, that's not funny. I don't
That's
like
not
that.
that's not the name.
That's not funny.
No.
Yeah, my name is way too long, especially when I'm at the
I
DMV
find it
and I have to fill out my
yeah.
name, and it's like there's not enough space here.
Oh.
This is my
Standardized testing, write in your full name. Like I need another sheet just for my name
I
alone.
run out of space too. And like my
My
name is
last
not
name's
nearly
4
as
letters. I
long
was so
as
happy.
yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
I find it so interesting that my family, when they moved over from China, they only one of my aunts took an English name, partially because her name is Ching Ching.
Hmm.
Probably see why, but I find it very interesting that like like my grandpa said, I mean like actually they would just keep their names, but my aunt and my dad, my other aunt and my dad, they just went by their initials. I'm like, fair.
Mhm.
This is cool.
Smart.
How do you guys feel
Like,
when people talk about Shang-Chi and they just refer to him as Sean?
I don't like.
I do refer to him as
I
Sean.
don't mind Sean over Shang.
Sean.
I'm just
yeah,
like, if you just say Shang, I'm like, this is weird. If you say Sean,
I guess,
I
It's
guess
fine.
he does go by Sean.
Yeah.
He just doesn't go by just Shang though.
Yeah.
That's like the weird thing. I'm like, if you say Sean or Shang-Chi. What?
That's like
Fair enough.
Michelle.
Especially on merchandise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Oh, I remember Victoria. You put up that.
Yeah,
like merch.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
sent
there
us a
was-
picture.
And it was like
Yeah,
really
there
bad
was one
merchandise.
shop, like all like the shirts or whatever. It was like Barnes or a Wilson, and they had just wrote Shang. I'm like,
If you're gonna
like
do
that's
last
a
names,
choice,
it's
and they're like, oh, it's to
XU.
avoid, it's avoiding like copyrights and stuff. I'm like,
They have
you
the wrong
definitely
last
did.
name.
You just definitely didn't know that like couldn't
Shang-Chi.
separate them.
Right. Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
not that long. It's like
Well, that's the thing though, because his last name is XU. It's not Shang-Chi. These are like his like Sean would be his generation's name for that era of
Yeah.
his family. And that would just be the name that differentiates him from the rest of his cousins and stuff.
Right.
yeah. So it's a very odd that they just chose Shang. Because yeah, like they could have if they just put the last name, fair.
XU done. But yeah. No,
Yeah,
apparently
it's
not.
that many letters. You just
Mhm.
just
So
separate
we
it,
relate
like,
to this movie many ways through names.
yeah, because
What-
I have a hyphenated name too, and it's like if they just call me one of my last names, it's odd.
That's weird. Yeah.
It's really, really odd.
My middle name's hyphenated, so so luckily I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll just pick one. And I'm like, I'm also visibly mixed, so like having it makes a lot of sense when you see me. But
So other
Who
than
knows?
names, how else do we relate to this movie? There's
I was gonna say,
it's a lot deeper than
names,
just
guys.
names. Yeah. Even though like he does talk about like names have power, yeah, sure, but like what's there's a lot of things that happen in this movie.
There's a lot to dissect,
Yeah.
just besides just taking off your shoes, of course. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely that.
I wear shoes in the house sometimes.
Oh.
I live in a white house.
Yeah, a gentrification has affected me in some ways. So
My parents will actually slap me if I come beyond a certain border for when it comes to shoes, probably. However, I have walked through the house with shoes on because I don't
yeah.
want to take them off and put them back on sometimes. But yeah,
last nail
I
in
always
the
do the walk on my knees. That's what I do.
I've done that.
like,
I've
"Ah!"
straight up knees and arms crawled it.
last
It
nail.
sucks when you do that. Go back and then realize, shit, I forgot something else, or crap, I left my phone behind.
Yeah.
Or they take off one shoe and hop.
I've also done that.
Last nail in the coffin about the name thing. Vix X Mem. I don't know how to say that name. Vix Mem asks, I heard the pronunciation he gives in the movie isn't exactly accurate or comic accurate. I don't know if that's true or not. Johnny, I think you're the expert on here and how to pronounce the name.
I mean, it's definitely not
correctly.
accurate if you're trying to do Cantonese because it's Sun Hei in Cantonese.
Mm.
I'll say that much. Mandarin Shun Chi is about right.
Mhm.
I mean,
It's
they speak Mandarin in the movie, so
Yeah.
I'd assume you'd use the
Preferred
Mandarin
language.
pronunciation.
But what is
Sometimes
it?
people tell me that I say my last name wrong, but I'm like, also, my family's Kanto, and also
Yeah.
we're westernized, so.
Yeah.
It's fine. What was it? When it
There you
comes
go.
to like, my mom tells me that his like, if you were to just take Shang-Chi, it's like if you were to translate almost, it's like enlightenment in some way, or like up in the heavens.
Didn't you say it was
That's
good
so
air?
sweet.
If with the Rompine, it's also good air or smells good air.
It's basically the heavens.
Yeah.
When I saw
That's
your
some pretty
video
good
about
air.
that, I thought they were gonna incorporate that in some way because he does like they do this like airbending thing, right? And I was like, okay, well, maybe they're gonna relate it back to like the purpose of his name. Yeah, right. I was like, oh, like okay, cool. He's got like some connection to air, but no, it's they don't really make that connection.
Yeah, I had to wait for like the Chinese posters to come out just to show my parents like what the actual words were because just going off
Characters,
Shang-Chi,
yeah.
they could not figure it out for the life of them.
Because that could be
There's not
different.
enough of an indicator because like
Yeah.
there's none of the little like arrows and all that like in Spanish or
The
French and all
tonal
that. Would,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Oh, getting back on how we relate to it. Sibling dynamics.
Oh
Sibling
yeah,
dynamics.
As the
It's like a
older brother,
similar-
yes.
Different. Say I have an older brother. I'm the little sister. I'm like,
Me
I always
too.
wanted to do what my brother did.
Mhm.
I mean, would
Yeah.
fight.
Will you kick your brother's ass?
At one point, he was kind of paralyzed in the hospital, and then he was getting back traction, and I was stronger than him.
And
he
that's when
was-
Victoria got her
yeah.
revenge.
She's like, that's when I got the revenge. Yeah.
For a moment, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have asked that.
You guys heard that
Oh no,
sound?
it's fine.
I
I mean, since then he's done like full Ironman triathlon, half Ironman triathlon, ultra marathon. He's fine. He's fine. He took the beating. It's fine. Like it wasn't like a beating. It's just like we're siblings fighting.
you can just
know?
imagine he's in the bed and he's just like right there, and you're like, "This is
You
your
clock
time."
him out every single time he wakes up.
She takes off his oxygen and she's like, go.
Let's-
That bad. It's just like you just like you sit on him and he can't move that long. The thing is, he would do that to me, so he was 1-to-1.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
have you guys
No
heard that
scratches, no bruises.
that
calling
Batman
nicknames.
sound on TikTok where it's just like him beating somebody? And Robin's like, "Well, man, I
want
think you
what
got
he's
him.
having?
You
No, I'm good.
No,
Justice.
me and my brother, we get
Justice.
along.
Frick off.
We're good. We're Gucci. Me and my brother. But it was a time where I'm like, I have to take this opportunity to sort some dominance.
Definitely one hell of an opportunity.
She puts her brass knuckles on. She's fucking ready.
I've been waiting for
Breaks his
this.
jaw while at it.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Regular sibling fight.
For the record, we
Oh,
love Victoria.
man, that's
He only
so
has
funny.
one scar from me, and it was when I was like 3, and I couldn't.
And
Like
now-
I just have sharp nails.
And now
Okay,
he'll
fair.
never forget that moment.
Oh, my dad apparently got so mad because it's on his face.
Oh
And then
no.
he couldn't. So like he couldn't.
Looks like
I don't
Kylo
have a
Ren.
pretty face anymore. I don't know.
Victoria's actually Azula in this story.
There we go.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Agni
love-
Diet.
I
love
used
this
to have
sibling.
the Azula. I did a cosplay of Azula when I had her haircut. I was just like chop chop.
Yes, I mean, right. You sent that to us.
Oh man.
One of my first TikToks.
Well, Laiba,
Have fun scrolling.
how did you relate
will.
to the whole sibling thing?
Once again, like the sibling dynamic, because like Shang-Chi's 5 years older than Xiaoling, and I feel like because my brother's 5 years older than me, and we fight a lot, but not like argument fighting, but like because we're both martial arts kids.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like he did martial arts, I do martial arts. So like
So like,
when I
how
was
many times
younger,
did you kick him in the balls
I know.
with
so
that CMU
many
edit?
times.
Yeah.
Have you guys
So
seen the CMU edit, by the way, of the
No.
Xiaoling? And Nick, I guess send it
Okay,
to you
you gotta
later.
send it to me.
Yeah,
CMU just
so
completely
funny.
re-edited it so that like every single chance Xiaoling had to kick him in the nuts, she would.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
just
so-
multiple nut kicks.
So you guys went. What
Yeah, I
kind?
used to get my brother just to, I'd be like, stand with your legs up and just. He took him a while to learn.
What kind of martial arts did you guys do?
We did karate, and then I did rugby and wrestling. So whatever I learned in wrestling and rugby, we'd be in like karate class. I'm like, hey, I'm like, come here,
Straight
come
up
here
shoulder
for a second.
charge.
He's like, what's up? And I was like, I want to show you something. I flipped him.
Flips
I was like, okay, thanks.
him, twists his
No, my
arm.
brother would do that with wrestling moves too. He was on the high school wrestling team, and he's just like, "I'll put me in a half Nelson." I'm like, "Stop!"
All I've learned so far is both of you guys can kick my ass. I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit growing up.
All I know is for these guys, I knew this to begin with when I found out everyone's height is just that they will easily hit me in the nuts. if
Yeah,
they
you know,
want to.
definitely. They can punch and hit you. That's
I was
talking.
gonna
You're
say
6'3", man. Oh my god.
I have
that's-
long legs.
But yeah,
um,
and also just Katie, because I
Mhm.
relate to Katie. I didn't realize that I would relate to Katie until I was like, oh my god, because like not only like cultural wise, and also relating to Shang-Chi as well, because like even though he like was raised in China, I believe, born in China, but he still moved to America,
senior,
right?
Yeah.
And there's still that like difference, you know. And then you feel like that he was really westernized when he like reunited with his father
Mhm.
again, right?
mhm.
And it's just like, yeah, I felt that all, and I was like, whoa. And then connecting to Katie, I was like, I didn't expect to be so like caught off guard by Katie.
Mhm.
I was like, I thought she was just gonna be like, you know, the comedic relief because she's played by Awkwafina, but I was like, holy crap.
She got depth in her, yeah.
Yeah, she has
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of depth.
Yeah.
But yeah.
She really showed it off.
Also,
Wow.
like at the end there too, where she's just like, "Oh, like it, like especially like when they're like, oh, when you
When she's about
you
to
don't
start training.
aim, like you can't hit your goal if you don't aim anywhere or anything. It's
Exactly.
just like you gotta like
Yeah, that was too real for me.
you're running from like the responsibilities and the problems and stuff
Mhm.
like that, and you're like, you know what, being like 20 somethings,
Yeah.
that's just
That's
that's
real.
it.
In
Being
real
a
life.
23-year-old
Reality check.
dude in a Chinese household where you took a social science class, yeah. Felt
Yeah.
it.
When her mom was like grilling her for like being like a chauffeur, like buying
Yeah, or
cars.
it's like, I'm sorry for going out and having fun and living
Yeah,
my life.
but
Mom.
also I was
It's
like thinking about
"Oh,
myself."
I've said that.
I was like thinking about myself. I was like, I just pour shit in a cup and give it to people. Like, what am I doing with my life?
You're
it
not
was
even
a very real
driving, Nick.
moment.
God.
Yeah, exactly. I think what I relate to is weird. Like the relationship between Shang-Chi and Wenwu, like his father, is
Yeah.
just like way too real in terms of
Daddy
like
issues.
understanding like how that dynamic works. It's like because you understand Wenwu, like you understand like how he feels, and you
Mhm.
understand
Mhm.
like the choices he's making, but that doesn't mean they're right. And like my dad was very like old fashioned. He was very like his ideologies were very like old misogynistic thinking. Like, oh, you're the
Mhm.
man. You gotta like do this. You gotta do that. You gotta make these choices. And I understood
You need to be
him.
the provider.
You need to be the
stuff like
provider.
that.
You need to do all this.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understood what he was saying, but like his execution was like not. It's not correct anymore. Like that's not how we do things anymore. And he's not gonna understand that. And I can explain it a million different ways, but I think he also knew like it was out of his time for him to understand. Like it was too late for him to
Yeah.
understand. And like he would constantly give me advice that was like really bad sometimes, and I knew it was bad, but I knew it was like coming from a place like he's saying it's because he cares. And him and I
Yeah.
would butt heads about it like a lot. and it sucks, like, because when we also died and my dad died, so I was also feeling that moment. But yeah, it's just this understanding of each other, and like not hating each other's values, but like knowing that like what you're doing is
They're
wrong.
very
I don't
different.
agree with what you're doing. That doesn't mean I don't love you any less.
Yeah.
Because like Wenwu is such a well developed character in the way
Mhm.
that he's made and presented, and it's so hard to just
The acting as well.
not
Tony
care
Wood.
about him. You know, like yeah,
So
he's
you know
the
why he did it? Like that makes all the difference too. Of, like,
yeah.
I mean, we
it's
also
so
get that.
common to really shut out everyone and like going back to like what you know to like
Yeah.
grieve and
Mhm.
pain, and that wasn't the right way to do. Like you had people depending on you,
Mm-hmm.
and you made the shitty
The
decision.
shittiest choice.
But
Well-
like they can't like. I know why. It's
Yeah,
the easier
yeah,
choice.
Yeah.
But there's also that wonderful line from Katie's mom, just going like, "Letting go, moving on is a Western thing,
Mhm.
right?"
Or it's an American thing. It's an American
Or
thing.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
American thing. It's something like that.
Yeah.
But it definitely like that one line very much embodies Wenwu as a whole in this entire film. I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We all love Wenwu.
we all love Wenwu.
We all love
Do.
Wenwu.
We love Wenwu.
Wenwu is daddy.
Wenwu is my
is
great
daddy.
protector.
We like the better version of Wenwu.
God, we were doing that.
Even though he's only conditionally a good person. We understand he's our problematic
Better than
fig here.
Icarus.
Fuck
I
Icarus.
will
Yeah.
defend Wenwu
He is better
with
than
my
Icarus.
life.
I will say that.
I will. Okay, you know what? I'll give the credit that that Wenwu was possessed by like a soul sucking demon.
Exactly.
So
He was lying.
Because he
you
didn't
know,
really
he
do
was-
much
what do you?
for many years until he got
Yeah,
really
until he started.
possessed.
Hearing the voices. Yeah.
Like he was just doing his like, you know, 10 ring stuff. He like let his kids be. I mean, he
Yeah.
neglected them, but like he wasn't like trying to pull them into shit.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was like neglect because it's like, well,
I think he understood that, like,
yeah,
They
you
needed
know.
some space.
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, like the neglect is the emotional neglect after the mother
I see
died
what you're
and
saying.
not
Yeah.
being
It's
Definitely.
there.
also just the pure fact
part.
that, you know, Wenwu put Shang-Chi through a lot of training,
Yeah.
as I'll say.
But that's I guess that's how he knows how to deal with it. Again, it's not right,
I gotta ask, who do you
but
think?
we know why.
Like I know my answer. Who's the better fighter, Shang-Chi or Xialing?
Xialing.
Yelling.
Xialing for
Xialing.
sure, right? Like there's no question
Right.
about it. She's fighting in the underground her entire life.
yeah.
Shang-Chi's
Yeah.
just doing push-ups.
Shang-Chi
in-
stopped fighting for a few years.
Yeah, he stopped fighting.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah.
He was just out of practice too, and she also like had something more to prove.
Oh, yeah.
She
However,
was also
I will
pissed
admit
at
that
him.
Shang-Chi was holding back in that fight, though. I
Yeah.
will
Oh,
say
yeah.
that much.
But
Yeah.
and she
he
was
wanted to
definitely
talk to
pissed at
her.
him. So
Mhm.
and she was like, "No, I'm not gonna talk.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
beat
No,
your
but
ass."
yeah, Xiaoling's definitely
Yes.
the better fighter.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
However, I still stand by the fact that I think Shang-Chi and even Xialing can just whoop half of the Marvel Universe
Oh,
in a
yeah.
full
Yeah,
hand-to-hand with
for
depending
sure.
on which character, of
Hand to
course.
hand.
Like, not the Hulk, but yeah.
Yeah. I stand by
Yeah.
that with you.
So, what didn't work for the movie, though, for you guys? Like, there has to be some critiques. Unless you're me, in which case I think this movie is perfect by this point, but...
It's hard to pick
That's
out.
I didn't like. Okay, not that I didn't like it, but like, I don't know any other way that they would have done it.
Mhm.
Just like the back and forth between times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
flashbacks.
The
When I was-
flashbacks.
when I was
I was
watching-
gonna say that's
when I was
probably gonna be
watching-
Nick's.
When I was watching, I was like, "Fuck, we're going back again." I was like,
There were definitely
mind that.
some of them that I think could have been condensed in some way.
yeah. I didn't mind it like towards the like at the beginning, but like once it got towards the end, I was like, "Okay, come on."
I think it worked for when Shang-Chi was meeting the dragon. I think that's the last time we get it.
Yeah, no, we also
Yeah.
get like a flashback when we gets the soul sucked out of him, but it's not really a flashback, it's
Yeah.
like memories.
Mhm.
But yeah.
I didn't really mind that actually.
Fair.
Surprisingly.
I do
wish
know
there
it
a
was
little bit
one
more
thing that
San
was jarring for some
Francisco
people.
at the end, I think. Because that was short.
Mhm.
I do have one very dumb critique, but I'll let you guys get yours out first.
I think it is just the time skip. I think what bothered
Yeah.
me wasn't like it just kept going back to the same moments, you know? And it's
Mhm.
like from different
Yeah.
perspectives. I was like, we've seen this like 4 times already.
Mhm.
Like progress the story. If we're gonna do a flashback, let's progress. Like, because they did it in Eternals, right? Like they did flashbacks.
Yeah.
But like they were new flashbacks. Like there were new information that was
Mhm.
presented every time. With
They're all different
Shang-Chi,
in
it's
some
like, how many times am I going to see this kid get on the helicopter? Like,
Yeah.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure like usually they only pop up when we have new information and then we like
mhm.
get the backstory behind it. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, that's not fine.
Yeah.
But what I do wish is there was subtitles the entire time when I was in theater because
Mhm.
there was the subtitles during all the Mandarin, and I
Mhm.
think the amount like when they had the Mandarin versus English made sense for the most part. At least
Mhm.
like most of the time, like I can understand like big scenes with the main characters fine. Like you want to do some English stuff there, but I like how like the narration and stuff was all like in Mandarin and stuff in the beginning. But like I wish
Mhm.
they just
Stuck to it.
subtitles the entire
Mhm,
time.
mhm.
I swear to God, that's the way to do it. Because I rewatching it, I was like, oh, this is so much better with subtitles.
Right, yeah.
Fair. Especially when Juan pops up, because there's a moment where he goes like, "That really hurt Emil." I didn't hear that line really. It was just sounded
Yeah.
mumbled because of all the cheering in the
Some of the
background.
little lines or some of the like the little background lines or like knowing how to like people's names and stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
just helps a little bit, but
Yeah.
I can't really think of too much other than like I mean it was fairly I would say it's predictable, but like they do it really well, but like it's not really a critique. It's just like if you wanted to be surprised, you're not really going to be surprised.
Mhm.
My
It's not a bad thing.
my
But
my thing is like, I don't mind the repetition and formula for superhero films.
if they do it well.
If they do it well.
Exactly.
But
And they did do
also,
it well. So
like with a person of color, it's like that's just something I want to see anyway, right? Like I've
Mhm.
seen the classic superhero formula movie with a
You've
bunch
seen
of
Ant-Man,
white
you've seen
men.
Doctor
I've
Strange,
seen them
you've
all.
seen Iron Man.
I've seen them all be played by white men. Even if it's the same movie with an Asian guy, I still want to see it, you know?
I mean, there's
yeah,
definitely more
yeah.
nuance to it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And that's
It's kind of
what's
comforting
important.
when it's in the formula because
Yeah.
you
Mhm.
also
And that's kind of like
It
the
just shows that they can do it as well, if not better.
right, yeah. And that's
Which
like
I think
the
this movie
idea
does.
with like this podcast is like, yeah, we don't always talk about us being Asian specifically,
Mhm.
but we are Asian, and that's kind of like
It
that's important.
contributes to some
Mhm.
format of
Yeah,
our perspectives.
exactly. It's the same form. We're just a bunch of nerds talking about nerd shit. There's a million different podcasts that do that.
Yeah.
But just adding that little detail of importance is enough for me, you know, and it's enough for a lot of people.
Mhm.
I don't care if I've seen this story like a million times. Like if I see myself on that screen, like I'm gonna go see it because I want to see what that looks like, you know.
Mhm.
So
yeah. No, that's why I was like, it's not a bad thing. It's just like that's the nitpickiest I can find. I'm just like
Yeah.
I do think for me though, like the one thing that didn't work for me, or like a little bit of what I wanted more as well, because of my own developed expectations, is just Death Dealer. The
Oh
dude
yeah,
in the Kabuki
Yeah.
mask.
yeah.
He looks
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool, and he got Boba Fetted.
Oh,
oh yeah. Like,
I wanted more
everyone
of that
expected
dude.
him to be like Taskmaster, but neither of them are really the villain in any way. And then they just kind of I mean actually at least Taskmaster lived.
Live.
But
Yeah.
I will be back in like 10 minutes. I will
No
cut this
problem.
out. But you guys are good. Keep going. Keep going.
But yeah, Death Dealer, just I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say they hyped him up in the trailers, but like he was definitely in it. Like I'm pretty sure everything we see of Death
it
Dealer
was a
in the trailer.
misdirect, I think.
It was a misdirect. But also
The
he's
same.
played by one of the guys who helped train Simu for the movie, named Andy Lay.
He's
Yeah.
the guy who's doing the backflips on the red
And
carpet.
the red carpet with the
with
red
the
hair.
red hair. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, why couldn't they keep him? Like, kill Razor Fist. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, he's cool and shit, but like, Death Dealer.
okay. He can still be in the MCU, the actor guy, because his face wasn't in the movie.
True, Andy Lay can't come back.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I don't know. Something about the costume, like I feel like there's a story there, and I really want to see it.
oh yeah.
Like, give me a
Never
Death
know.
Dealer
There's
show
gonna-
or something.
I feel like they leave all these things open ended for like prequel and sequel shows and movies. They announce them so fast. Like, oh, it was so cute seeing the Hawkeye red carpet of the
Yes.
the actress who plays Echo.
Yes.
She's also a deaf actress, and she's just like, I don't. This is my first acting role. I don't know why they're giving me a whole show.
That's her
Obviously
first.
she would.
I did not know that was her first one. Damn. Okay.
I will need to double check it, but like, I think that's what it said.
What's her name? Alekwa Cox? Something like
I
that?
think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't recall off the top of my head, but like
Mhm.
her Maya. I mean, she obviously killed it playing Maya Lopez. That they greenlit a show for her.
It's
So-
true. Oh yeah, they just have an entire show for her too. Damn.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hawkeye's not even out. She's got a show. Good
I
for
mean,
her,
it makes me
but-
excited to see more of Echo and possible other characters from Netflix, but nonetheless. Besides just what didn't work for you, but like what would you have liked more of as well though? I feel like I know some of your answers the moment I say it as well though, but we'll see.
Mm,
I kind of wanted more scenes with Shang-Chi and Xialing.
Yeah, that was mine as well. I wanted
Me
more
too.
Xialing.
me too.
like-
She was so good. Give me a Xialing. No, just give me the 10 Rings TV show first off. I know I've been pitching that for a while. And
I mean,
you know,
10 Rings is gonna come back, so
they
I don't
are.
like how everyone's like, oh, she's gonna be a villain or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
she doesn't
doesn't need
necessarily
to.
need to be a villain if she's the leading the 10 Rings.
Exactly. Like, is
I
she
mean,
really
it
going to be a
implies
villain, or
that
is she
she
just
could
going
do
to be
bad
doing fight clubs?
Whereas like her secret spy agents, I've seen
Oh, yeah.
theories about like her pairing up with the I
Black
guess
Widows?
you call them the widowed
Yeah.
Black Widows.
I would
The
love
ones
to
who
see
don't have
that.
an organization. I'd love to see the widows at her 10 Rings. Because like
Mhm.
in the post credits scenes, like 10 Rings will return and it's got
Yeah.
her logo, and so she
It's-
doesn't have to be a
it's good.
bad guy, but I'm just like,
True.
But
Nick,
I
what do you
wanted
wanna see
more
more
of their sibling relationship and
Yes.
how that really played out. I guess more in the village, I suppose, of
Mhm.
like a little bit more of that drama between them, but I
But
think
Nick,
that's the main thing.
what did you want more of?
Nick. He's asking you.
Oh, you're talking to me. I
Yeah, I
want.
said Nick.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
I'm just
I'll-
like, he's thinking.
Don't worry, I'll fix this in post. I wanted more Abomination. Okay, we
Oh my
we were
God.
not unjustified with the amount of Abomination we got in the trailer.
I
and
wanted
then-
more one.
Well, I wanted more both of them. I want to understand
It's
that
the
like
Wong
buddy.
verse.
Yeah,
We're in the
that
Wong
buddy
verse.
cop dynamic. I'm missing that. I want that. So
We are canon in the Wongverse.
we are
We
canon
are
in the Wongverse.
canon.
We're canon in the Gabriel
We are
universe.
canon.
We're canon everywhere. So well, yeah,
There's that.
get Abomination in there. Hopefully we'll get
Abomination
it
in
more in
there?
like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, true. How about you, Laiba? What did you want more of?
I think
What
I
would you have
wanted
liked more to see?
I wanted more of his mom. I don't know why.
True. I do want more of his mother.
Yes.
Was so captivating on screen. I also
Mhm.
like wanted more of Tony and her relationship.
Yes.
But like yeah, we saw like tidbits of it, but like I don't know. I wanted like a heart to heart between them,
Mhm.
you know? Cuz all we
like
got was,
like
that
if I
beautiful
die
fight.
sort of thing, like or like their vows or something
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, or like you know,
to show that like he kind of
like-
went against the vows or something
like a
Mhm.
by
moment
picking up the rings.
like a moment where he is like maybe doubting himself, where he's like, I'm a criminal, I'm horrible, I don't know why you want to be with me, and I want
Mhm.
her to like, you know, like console him, be
Show
like,
that love and all that.
yes,
Yeah.
I would have loved that, like
More love. In the
more
MCU.
love.
More love, absolutely.
We do support that.
I do want to give a shout out to their DDR moment.
Oh
As a
yeah.
fan.
Oh yeah, the
Family.
dance. Yes, I loved
Yeah,
it.
the
That was so
dancing.
cute. I loved it.
I do want to bring up. I don't know if this counts as like wanting more. Like I didn't get enough of
Okay.
it. I wanted validation that my theory was correct. That Shang-Chi did kill Kathy's grandfather.
Oh my god.
I
I was for a moment, I was like, I want validation that Robbie Reyes is also in this.
that
Oh my
too.
That's the
God.
first thing that my aunt and uncle said because I watched it last week with them. It was their first time being it.
Uh-huh.
They're like, that was Katie's grandfather.
It's not an uncommon idea.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it would have been another Falcon Winter Soldier situation.
Yeah,
with
that's why I
Bucky
think they
and-
didn't do it, and I'm pretty
Which
upset.
I'm
with-
also kind of glad though, because like I don't think I need that tension between Katie and Shun.
I was
I
living-
like it, the idea that he's just a guy.
I like
Yeah.
things getting messy, and I feel like that's a future plot point they should discover later.
I mean,
on.
they didn't rule it out. So.
They didn't, yeah.
True.
If we ever get Simu on here, I'm gonna ask him about it. I'll be like, hey,
Oh my
you gotta
God.
confirm this theory for me. Did you kill Gady's grandma?
Timu, open offer on the boba. Still
Yeah,
running.
hey, yeah.
I have sent him a DM through the Voices of
Oh,
Atlas
yeah.
Instagram. So
Simu-
everyone, just if you ever see one of us post anything now, just tag Simu in
Tag
it. Actually,
Simu.
tag Simu.
Like, in
Hashtag-
advance, sorry Simu for annoying you, but
the voices of
we
Simu.
really want to have you.
He'd love
Voices
us.
of
We'll
Simu.
change the name to Voices of Simu for that episode.
Yeah,
it just
Voices
won't be
of
Voices
Simu.
of Atlas. It'll just be
Simu's
Voices of...
of Atlas.
We won't even talk
Simu's
about
of
Shang-Chi.
Atlas.
We'll just talk. We'll just have some.
We'll just
boba.
vibe.
We'll just vibe,
We'll,
dude. Hey.
we'll hype up his next movie, his rom-com that he's got coming out.
yeah,
Mhm.
come on.
Yeah, there we
His
go.
manuscript that's coming
Yeah,
out.
his man. I was literally
I've
about to
ordered his
mention
book
that.
already.
You did? I want to
It's on
order
Amazon.
it.
It's hardcover.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Fun
you
stuff.
just
And a
start
rom com.
typing.
Oh man, I'm excited for a rom com.
Oh,
I
man.
do love a good Asian lead in a rom com.
The
Also,
other
shout out,
Asian as well.
watch Love Hard. That's a
Right.
good movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
And it's-
People have recommended that
It's
to me.
fun. It's
Is that the one with Jimmy Yang, I think?
Jimmy Yang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Christmas one.
Yeah. And
I'm
Nina
saving it
Dobrev.
for December 1st, or at least after American Thanksgiving to
It's
watch.
really good.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Okay.
Because like everyone's Asian except for Nina Dobrev, who's Bulgarian Canadian. So
right.
Fair.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
So another question for you guys is just like, who do you relate to the most?
Oh,
One move.
when will?
No, I don't relate
For
to one
sure.
move, but like, goddamn.
When will, man? That
No,
guy's
but
got.
who do you
Oh my
simp
God.
for, and like who do you relate to the
Dude,
most?
that guy just walks into a room and demands presence. You know?
I mean, the
Like-
man walks in with rolled up sleeves
He
for
was-
his suit.
Yeah.
The man gets the attention.
The man does not
Oh,
It
require.
is hard to work that
the
look.
man does not require an audience. He just gets one. Okay, like
Mm.
there's literally nothing to argue with that guy.
There's this moment in one of the last fight scenes, and it's the scene where you guys were talking about how like Shang-Chi just like gave it his all. He wanted to stop his father, not the one by the tunnel, but the one in the like the what's it called, like the
Still in the
palace or something?
village?
Like yeah, it's still in
Yeah.
the village. And he like, let me do a demonstration. I have his little bow staff right here. He like swings his bow staff at his dad, and he does this like little dodge, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh!
It's just like an inch dodge. It's not
Yeah, he
even
did-
like
he-
a boom. It's just
Oh
like
yeah, he
a
does one of that, and his hair's messy, and I was like, my
daddy.
Father?
Father.
Just to make
I
sure,
would
Laiba,
like
does
to
your
also
mom
give a
listen to
shout out
this?
to his long hair.
Oh yes, with the little bud on top when he was a conqueror.
Oh, yeah.
That
love-
was a
I
look.
love
Yeah.
a little bun. I love a little man bun.
love the
I
That's
love a
fun.
little bun.
Also, just
And-
shout out to the fact that they had dim sum that Wenwu brought for his Shang-Chi
cute.
mother while they're still in the forest. I loved it because I have one of those like little containers as well back in the day.
He brought snacks.
He brought snacks. He brought
Please
dim
like
sum.
me.
Can you imagine like after he met her, he like went back and he was like, listen, this is what I need, okay?
Here's my order. Take my money and go.
Wait, quick tangent. What are some of your favorite dishes at dim sum?
Shumai.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
chicken
shumai,
feet.
pork shumai, chicken feet for sure.
Chicken feet's
Oh
really
my
good.
god,
I
I
love
like shrimp shumai.
cow intestines.
Yes,
It's really
they're so good. Oh,
They're
what's
very
it called
chewy.
again? So
I can't
good.
remember.
Shit.
Um,
But it's so good.
There's also like this little
love
dessert
the
thing with
flat
like sesame
noodles.
seed. Yes.
See,
I know which
that's
one you're talking
the
about.
thing we're gonna do too. When we all meet up,
It's,
we're gonna go get dim sum. We're gonna find a good dim sum
tripe.
place.
That's what it is.
We're gonna go to dim sum.
I love-
Really
I
good
love
dim
me
sum
some
place
tripe.
here.
There you go. Boom. See,
I
We're
know a
already there.
few here. There's one near my house.
We got Din Tai Fung, but I don't really count that as dim sum. even
Oh,
though it's called-
DTF.
Yeah, it's really good.
Never
I
heard
just
of it.
don't consider
Actually, I've
it
never
like
actually
real.
been to Din Tai Fung. I went to when I lived in Seattle. Oh, what's it called? It was like it's called like dumpling time or something. It's something stupid the name, but it was so good. But it was like Din Tai Fung, but like so much cheaper and so less busy. But the Xiaolong Bao, so good.
Yeah, here like Ding Tai Fung is cool. Like you order like a regular menu, like you don't have people pushing carts or stuff, and I think that's the fun part, right? Like you know when you
Oh,
go
yeah.
to a dim sum place
yeah.
and people are like yelling at you. And I remember I brought my friend once to like a dim sum place, and they're like, "Why are they yelling at us?" I was like, "They're not yelling at us. That's how they
This is how
talk.
they do-
It's just
yeah.
how it is. Leave them alone. This is doing the
usually
job.
Cantonese too.
You trying to dodge on those you're trying to dodge on those dumplings? You gotta
Listen,
yell
like-
for it. Like that's not how
This
this
Yeah,
one
works.
time
yeah.
I went for dim sum though with 3 of my white friends. They gave us forks and no chopsticks. I'm like, damn it.
I've had that.
Yeah, it was like
That
I'm
sounds
not
well.
that white yet.
Yeah, that's so funny. Holy
They
shit.
always get surprised when my mom was like, "No, we want chopsticks," because she's
Mhm.
white, and it's just like fair.
Mm.
But now they just know. But it's just like, oh man.
That's
Oh,
got to be unfortunate.
A little Laiba's
before my
just
brother had
petting
like
her
teeth or was
Morris.
eating food, my dad would dip his like sussy into like the sauces at dim sum.
Oh,
It just grew up there. Oh
I
my
mean, now
God.
I'm hungry. Shit. Okay, so we
but
all
yeah,
sent for
back on
when was
topic.
what I'm hearing.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Whatever,
related
for
to
sure.
I'm gonna say either Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Shang-Chi and Jialing.
and
Yeah,
Kathy.
Jialing.
You know
A
what?
woman who can
I
kick
relate
my
to
ass.
everybody. I relate to everyone. Everyone in that movie is a piece of me.
I definitely do relate to
Trevor!
Shang-Chi.
Trevor, oh man, that guy is so funny.
Oh, what a doofus! I love
Okay,
him.
you know what? No, going back for a moment, one thing I didn't like. I think that I didn't need one of like at least cut out one of Trevor's jokes. Keep the Planet of the Apes one. It's silly enough that I like it. But like the moment he gets out of the car, just goes like, "I'm not a threat." Morris can vouch for me. I'm like, I didn't need that. Little bit less from that white man.
Hmm.
There's somebody we
Hmm.
didn't talk about.
Who?
Michelle Yeoh.
Oh shit! Right, Auntie. Also, we
Oh,
sim
she's
for
great.
Auntie.
Yeah, Auntie, dude. She's great.
She's great.
She's fantastic.
She's great.
Michelle
shit.
Yeoh
She's
was
all around
amazing.
good.
The fact that this is her
Mm.
second time in the MCU too. Thank God.
What?
Yeah.
Yep, she's in
True.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she was one of the Ravagers, or like the original
Yeah.
Ravagers.
Yeah.
And then we're
Yeah,
never
which
gonna
Ravager
get that
she
movie.
is, but yeah.
She's one of the like.
Right.
She's one of Yondu's like.
Her
old
and
crew.
Gemma Chan have been both in the MCU twice now.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
Go girls!
Yeah.
They
woo.
should.
Oh, but
So-
that
yeah.
she was just all around good. I like how she's alive.
So nice they
Yes.
did it
At
twice.
the
God,
end,
Auntie's
so
still
that
alive.
gives.
Yeah.
I want Auntie to come back for the sequel.
I really
Yeah,
hate it
it's-
when they kill everyone off. I'm just like, ugh.
Okay,
like, I
I'm
like how
pissed they
most
killed
people
off
alive.
Wombo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How do you
The guy who was teaching Katie how to shoot the arrow.
how do you
Oh yeah, that's sad.
how do you think the dynamic of like Shang-Chi having the rings now is gonna like affect his presence like in the MCU? Like what is
I hope they get destroyed.
Yeah, I don't
at
want him
some
to
point.
have them. I don't know.
I
There's
don't
like
want,
something.
like, I hope he
in
only
me that,
pulls them
like-
out when he actually needs them.
Yeah.
At least, yeah.
Well, there's
I
also
feel like it's not going to be an everyday thing. I feel like it's like when it's the universe world level threats, he'll bring him out. But
Mhm.
Well,
most of the time, he's just not.
Yeah.
because he knows what they did to his dad.
Dad, right?
You
Yeah, so he
know?
has that thing, and he uses them very differently. He doesn't really wear
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, he
I
uses
saw
them
a
more
video
as,
like
support.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't have him on his body
Yeah,
majority
yeah,
of the
yeah.
Yeah,
time.
until
They're
like his
always
father gives them
outside.
to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then what is it like the fact that he doesn't like I don't know he how do I say this like he uses them, but like what is the weight of like using them because like he'll become immortal if he uses them too much, right? How
Yeah, I
does like
think
the
so.
dynamics of this
Yeah.
ring do these rings work like?
I
is it-
think it's if you're wearing them / using them,
Yeah.
then that's what it pauses you.
Mhm.
yeah, because Wenwu like wore them 100% of the time.
100%.
So-
Until they met his mother.
Yeah, until he met his mother.
Yeah.
But I mean, like at the same time, like Asian people don't really age for a while.
Yeah, you know,
Asian don't raise it.
Asian don't
That's what I'm
raise it.
saying.
Is that the
You
saying we
shrink
have?
all at once when
Yeah.
you're like 80.
Exactly.
and then-
Like the moment you hit like 70 and you just wake up and like, who the hell is that?
You're a foot shorter and your hair is white.
Please don't let me get short. This is the one thing I have going for me.
You're
Johnny's gonna
6'3",
lose an
Johnny.
entire foot.
What
He's
is
gonna
short
lose
I'm
an
gonna
for
become
you?
your
entire
guys'
foot.
height.
You-
You
You're gonna
become
be-
5'9".
You're gonna be
My
taller than us,
bad.
though, don't worry.
I hate you.
Well, I'll be old playing bingo and then I'll somehow shrink compared to you guys. Okay.
But yeah.
But-
Oh, in characters that I relate to, it's Xiaoling and Katie, and probably the most like a combination of the two. I mentioned that before, but I do gotta mention, I'm kind of sad that the Dweller in Darkness it wasn't
A hawk person.
a hottie.
Yeah.
It wasn't
squid
just like
face.
a squid face guy. They just made him into a monster, and I'm like, he has no depth. Okay, that's the thing that I want. I wanted the Dweller in Darkness to have a little bit more motivation than just taking all the souls. 'Cause
I
it's just,
wanted him to be
that really
Mephisto.
I wanted him to have a little bit more than just like he's just some creature who
Yeah.
thrives off souls, kind of like how Starro is just like, oh,
I mean,
I
fair.
do it because I can. Like that's what I was designed to do. Versus like, come on, like, so getting the souls, what does that do? Now he's dead. No one of the Fear Lords is dead. What does that do?
Hey, who knows? Maybe Nightmares in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and we'll get somewhat of an explanation.
I,
That's what I'm
I,
hoping for.
I love
did you
that
do,
idea.
Laiba?
Having nightmare.
I
There you
just
go.
looked up what the Dweller in Darkness actually looked like in the comics, and I'm fucking disturbed.
Is
I
it
gotta look
Squid
it up, I gotta look
Face?
it up, I gotta look it
Squid
up.
face guy?
Look it up,
no.
Johnny. I mean,
I've
Nick,
seen
sorry.
it. I've read
Dweller of Darkness.
Dweller in Darkness.
In Darkness.
Oh, God.
Dweller in Darkness. Okay. Oh, Dweller in Darkness. Hang on.
He's kind of like a Kraken face
Oh.
kind of dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's interesting.
He looks like a
I like
was it a mind
I-
flayer in D&D?
yeah, I see what you're saying. That's kind of
like
cool.
he could have been
actually.
a hottie, but like I mean,
Yeah,
I get why
man.
they made him like
Why
monster.
not?
Why? I don't.
I mean,
know why
I'm
they
fine
did
with
that,
it just
but-
because dragon fights.
Yeah, like I know why
I
they
was
did
for
it,
it.
and I'm like out of the Fear Lords and stuff. Like he just like sucking people. So fine. You can make him that, but I'm like kind of
Your audio
disappointed because I'm
slightly
like
cut out there for me, where it just heard sucking and then
Sucking people.
sucking.
I didn't
Soul
finish the
sucking.
sentence.
Soul
Souls.
sucking.
To each their
People's
own.
souls. No, but kind of sad about that because
Mhm.
he's one of my favorite Fear Lords, but
Fair.
it's okay.
Laiba.
Is it? I can't say he's hot though when he's a monster like that.
I mean, you can
Hey,
sim
we're,
for a dragon.
We're down with monsters here. We're down.
I mean, let's not forget we brought up goo fucking.
I saw you live.
What's wrong with
You're
dragon
like-
fucking?
It's the wrong kind of tentacles, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely had tentacles and he could restrain people.
Have you guys not
As
It's the
seen?
wrong kind.
Have you guys not seen The Shape of Water? Come on, that's a beautiful
Stop!
movie.
We're disturbing Laiba. We're
I-
sorry.
I need
I
more.
mean,
Open your
Venom.
As long
mind,
as no one
guys.
wants to screw Morris, we're good.
Well,
It's
there's a
no
lot.
face.
There's a lot of questions there. There's a lot. There's a lot. Of questions.
Where do
No,
you begin?
let's stop talking
No,
about this.
no.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
It's enough.
Let's move on.
It's
This
enough.
isn't. We are just. We
My
are.
mind's terrible.
Forehead
I'm
Disres-
sorry.
kisses only.
That is disrespectful. Gotta keep moving.
Forehead kisses only.
Yeah.
Forehead.
Go on. Move. Ask your
And
next
people
silly
getting called
question,
darling.
Johnny.
This one's mostly for me and Laiba, though. I don't know if you guys have,
What's
but
it?
Laiba, the album.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
You don't think I don't have a good taste in music? I listen to that album too. We all
I'm
listen to that
just
album.
like, here's the thing. Me and Laiba like would not shut up about it. We
We would
can't
not
talking
shut up.
about it.
This album.
I think it's better than Black
Slaps.
Panther and the Spider-Verse album.
Slaps.
Whoa.
No, I get it.
Spider-Verse album.
Anderson,
I, like
I mean,
I need to listen to the Spider-Verse album, but oh my god, yeah. Ooh,
and
ooh,
Anderson
this-
.Paak is
Oh my
like his
gosh.
fucking
Oh, I
song
love
is
Anderson
fire.
.Paak.
I was
Nikki,
levitating
though.
out of my seat
Always,
when I was listening to Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
In the credits.
I'm not gonna lie, that's
Always-
one of my. I don't love Fire in the Sky like a lot of people do.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Foolish
when
is
my
where it's
brother
at for me,
loves
though.
music. He loves hip hop. He didn't really listen to it that much, and I was like, "You have to listen. This is 100% your style of music."
There's
But I
also
think he's got
Mandarin
into it.
in Lazy Susan, which I love. Also,
Yeah.
Baba Says.
Dude,
A little
my
bit like that
dad.
one bit in Lazy Susan. I'm just like, oh, so good. That one
Yeah.
bit.
Sorry, Laiba,
oh.
your dad.
My
Your dad.
dad loves Baba Says because I call my dad Baba.
Ah,
And then he's like, and I'm like, no.
no. Sorry, Dad. Not you.
I'm like,
not
no,
you.
not you.
my
No,
my
never
favorite
you.
one is Always Summertime. That one's my favorite.
I love that
Yeah.
I need
one.
That
to
one's
pull up the
so-
song names because I just
Yeah.
Shout out
listened
to
it.
Tyler today, actually, on
Who
TikTok.
did that?
where
Yeah, hey.
He sadly couldn't make it, but he made us like a quick little snippet of Every Summertime. It was
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
He was one of our previous guests on here. You guys should check out that episode. We're talking about our favorite movies.
I want him on the
Laiba
show,
wouldn't let
man.
me bring up Shang-Chi, though,
I want him,
Yeah.
I want him on the
because
show.
we're doing
man.
this
That guy's
episode
so
now.
cool. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
hot soup.
hot soup.
What's okay?
Good soup.
It's
First
Good
off,
soup.
good soup. That is
soup.
good soup right
And
there.
hot
But
soup.
also, hot soup makes me cry.
cry.
It makes me bawl because first off, it's a tribute for Simu to his grandparents because he was raised by them, as was I. And it's about how he finally learned how to make his grandparents' recipe for soup. And Victoria, I'm sure you can relate. Whenever you go to a Chinese dinner, you usually start off with the soup. The soup's relatively pretty important. My grandma had this delicious tofu soup that I, for the love of God, can now never have again because she's gone. And just hearing that reminds me of them, and I always get emotional, and that's all I got on it. But yeah, hot soup makes me cry.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
love-
know the backstory behind that.
Yeah.
You know,
So
I've
good.
my Chinese grandma didn't really cook too much, but I've definitely made sure to learn my recipes on my mom's side from my grandma because she's still around, and I'm like, I need to know this.
I mean, but yeah, the album slaps. Y'all should listen to it if you haven't. I think it's better than Spider-Verse and Black Panther, though. My friends think I'm insane for saying that, which is like fair, but at the
Like
same
I would
time,
need to listen to them
resonate.
all. I didn't connect as much to Black Panther because I
Mhm.
just happened. I didn't go through a phase of listening to it. I'm sure it's great because I also love that kind of music too.
Yeah.
But I'm just like,
Sick.
I would need to listen to them all. But like, I would say they are very comparable. They are the top
Mhm.
movie superhero soundtracks
Yeah.
Right.
of them all. Guardians of the Galaxy is different because it's just like a playlist, but
Mhm.
I would say original.
100%. 100%. Gonna try to speed things up though. But what are our thoughts on the Asian depiction in this film? Because I feel like that is a very important point to discuss.
Get a
Thumbs
thumbs
up.
up from me because
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Can it be better?
It's
Do you
good.
think it could have been better?
I always
I think there's
stand.
always room.
Yeah, there's
for
always room for
improvement.
improvement.
One
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, one point I did want to bring up is like the discussion behind like the asexualization of Simu in this, in many ways. That
Mhm.
because like it's a consistently seen
Yeah.
thing for Asian men in media.
I think
Like, while as much as I love the friendship between Katie and Sean, I
Mhm.
prefer that for sure. But in some way, I am also glad we didn't get like a throwaway love interest in some way.
Yeah.
Because
You
we can
gotta
have a
see,
Christine Palmer or something like that. But nonetheless, would have been nice.
I think what like I think about when I'm thinking about like relationships for Asian men in like media, it's like it has to contribute to the story in some way and like be respectful like both ways. And just the way that like they were portraying Shang-Chi's story is like I don't know if he had room for like a romance. Because I
No.
wanted him I think the story was about him and his closure with his father. And to add an element of like a romantic detail would have been like it would have like clouded.
That would
I
have
think,
felt forced in.
yeah, it would have felt
almost,
forced
Yeah.
and weird.
and
I don't-
rushed and
Is it a conversation? For sure, yeah, it's a conversation they had. Like, yeah, but why there could have been one. I don't know if it would have helped. It might have even hindered it. But it's not completely out of the table, right? Like, it's not completely off the table. If anything, like, I like the idea that he is like, I guess, single in like the MCU, because then it's like, okay, well, he can meet somebody else that isn't in his culture, and I think that's great because, like, as a mixed kid, like, I like to see
I was
that.
saying I want
Yeah.
a mixed relationship
Yeah.
for Shang-Chi. I
Let
want
me
him to
tell,
like
bro,
yeah.
like Yelena and and Shang-Chi, I could see
I
it.
pitch that. Okay,
Yelena's
like here's the thing
ace,
though.
though.
Oh,
Yeah,
is she?
people were telling me
She's ace.
Yelena's
Okay, then never
asexual
mind. Forget it.
because
Throw that out the
of her
window.
comic counterpart. Don't know if they'll do it for the MCU, but
Like,
if
It
I
would be
had
nice if she
the
stayed
option.
ace, but like they would have definitely
A little
a
moment.
Yeah.
good banter,
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
good
100%.
karaoke. She would fit the karaoke vibes.
Yeah.
But I did like Katie and Shang-Chi being friends.
There was
Yeah.
that little
like-
moment. Yeah.
Cause I know I mentioned this, like it was like the thing is like with Gilgamesh and Dina,
Tina,
it's
yes.
just like so many people were anti them being in a relationship. They live together, they have a life together. You're like, why not? Like this one, like
Why
sure,
is that
they,
so
like,
hard to believe?
they have great chemistry, like Katie and Shang-Chi, but like why are people quicker to ship them when they said like yes they're like they're not super flirty but they have good chemistry and they've said it was platonic and stuff like why are they quicker to ship them two together? I'm like, oh, is it because Katie's Asian?
Yeah.
Probably because Katie's Asian. But
you know, it makes white people feel safer.
yeah.
That's
But
all I'm gonna say.
because a lot of people, they always like to bring up the things like, why can't men and women be platonic, have like platonic friendships in the MCU? I'm like, they're a really good example of that. Like,
Yeah.
y'all are like
Yeah.
claiming that on other
In
relationships.
ships,
I'm like,
but you
that's
don't
a
want to claim it here.
good one.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of him having the option to meet people. I mean, they also hinted at the fact like maybe him and Katie do be romantic, whatever. But like, I don't think. I mean, in this movie, there wasn't enough space in the story because the love story was really his parents, and if they threw in somebody else, it would have just been like, oh, you're just forcing it at this point.
Yeah. Fair enough.
There is that like throwaway line that the grandma gives. It's like, oh, like when are you guys gonna
when are
get
you two
married?
When are you gonna get married?
And
it's
it's
just
like
a very Asian grandma thing.
That
though,
is,
as well.
and like people will like latched onto that. Like, well, they mentioned it. It's like, no, that's just like conversation that happens Monday to Friday. Like that's what happens.
It's like,
that's what
happens
people.
yeah,
That's
like,
what my
you have,
aunts
like, an
tell me
opposite,
every
like,
time.
best friend too, like you
Yeah,
get that.
you get that a lot. Like before I proposed, everyone's asking me like, when are you gonna propose? When are you gonna propose? And this is like literally like a year after my fiance and I were dating. It's like, when are you gonna propose? I'm like, I don't know.
It's a
like
year.
this isn't like
like it gives the option of like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe it'll develop, maybe not. But they clearly said like, or he clearly said to the grandma like, no, we're just friends. Like,
yeah, because like suitor, like what is it called? Like I don't know what it's particularly called, but like my parents always my mom always throws it around like courting somebody or like suiting somebody. It's like I heard that so much growing up. Like whenever like I had like a girlfriend or something, it's like that's not how this world works anymore. Like that's that's just part of the conversation that I have daily sometimes. Like it's not like it wasn't put there.
My parents still do that to me.
Yeah, it's not put there because like it's meant to make you like believe that there's something there. It's just like that's just part of that's just a part of life sometimes. That's how my aunt talks to me. That's my grandma talks to me. That's just how it is. It was one of those like real moments, you know, not like oh here's a little piece of what you're looking for. It's like no, this is just a conversation I'm having with my grandma.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
But yeah, no, I really love their platonic friendship too, especially like hanging out with other friends that they went to university with. They go in karaoke. I'm like, I've definitely done that with a lot of like my guy friends and stuff because I was in engineering and stuff. It's like there's a lot of guys there. Like this feels representative. Like you can have close guy friends and like like oh, but they're leaning on each other. Like yeah,
me and my best friend, and like I'm best friends with her boyfriend as well. Me and her lean on each other as well.
Yeah, like it's all like, but like it's like oh, they're holding each other. Like she's comforting him. You're comforting.
Yeah,
you're going to say like leave room for Jesus for that. Like come on. But I'm just like,
I don't buy it. However, if we do ship any couple in this movie, it is Xialing and Katie. As the voices of Atlas stance on this for sure.
100%. Oh yeah.
Nice pants.
And the leg. Thanks. Love your whole outfit. Everything that was wonderful, honestly. But yeah.
There's one last thing I want to add to like the whole race and representation thing, and something I talked about like earlier is that it's hard to please everybody because like you want to like have good representation, you want to have like all of these cultures exposed and stuff like that, but even within those cultures there's like their own problems, right? Like being mixed, I face like, you know, internalized racism all the time. I internalized prejudice all the time. That whole thing with Simu like not looking good enough to be like the first like Chinese American superhero, that was a topic of conversation that like sparked BS.
Oh my god.
But that was like an internal like, you know, internal toxic beauty standard conversation within the Asian community.
Amongst Asian communities.
Yeah, and that's not something that like outside people can understand. That's not something that they can tackle. That's something we as a community talk about in ourselves. So like how can you make representation 100% satisfactory to everybody when even within those communities you still have to please everybody? It's impossible. Like there's always going to be room for improvement. There's always going to be room for these discussions. Like it's not easy. It's good to have, and if we criticize it, it's not because we hate it, it's because we do like it, and but we want to get more of it. We want it to be better. It's tough making everybody happy. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure my dad like passively aggressively implied all that Asian bias in the sense that he went my dad likes to call me like the less better looking version of himself. because I do apparently look relatively like my dad. I'm still taller than him. It's fine. But then, like, after we saw the movie, he's like, "Oh, I get why you want to you like Shang-Chi and all that now. It says you look like the actor." I'm like, "Okay, then, sure, maybe, okay, fine with me, Dad." Because, like, in my eyes, Simu is beautiful. We love Simu.
We all love Simu.
But in my dad's eyes, it's just different culture, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I really like seeing Simu, and like also like some of the other like actors too, like Tony, who plays
Tony
his
Leung.
dad and stuff.
Yeah.
And like even seeing like Daniel Day Kim cast as Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah.
I'm just like
Daddy?
like, also like Jackie Chan, like those are all like the Asian guys in media that also kind of to me looks like my dad. And I'm like, it makes me so happy to see that, because like they're not, I mean, like it reminds me of my dad in the sense he's like, yeah, Simu, it's got a tan. Like
Exactly.
like my dad would step out in the sun, he'd change 3 shades darker. Like I don't know. It just like it really reminded me of like my family, some of those like actors and stuff. And so seeing them be the ones as the face of it, I'm like, this is really exciting for me. I mean, obviously it's not what everybody looks like, everyone looks different, but I'm just like, for me, this is a personal win. And it stabs me to the heart when people are like, they're not the standard, they need to have softer features and paler skin, and I'm like,
bigger eyes, which I can't do.
Like,
I have the smallest eyes in my family.
Like, we can't do it. They won't get any bigger, okay?
It's fun. If you guys ever look at some of my pictures, my right eye is significantly bigger than my left eye.
Same.
And like my left eye looks very, very Chinese. My right eye looks a little bit more white. And I'm just like, God damn it, there's the there's the
Mulan.
That's fun.
Yeah. How do we think this film impacted us?
We're here, aren't we? We're all here.
Like beyond this wonderful podcast that we've now constructed for ourselves.
I think it opens up a whole another conversation, like, you know, talking about what we saw as kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we saw as kids, how we got made fun of as kids, how, you know, it can affect us now, you know. And like Simu said, like, we never saw anybody who looked like us, you know, put on a superhero suit. We always saw that kid with broken glasses and a calculator, and his food smells, or he brings weird snacks, or like no one talked to that kid.
He's not super athletic, which was another one.
Speak American, speak Canadian.
Speak Canadian. And it's like, come on. It had to take this long for us to get our first Asian-led superhero.
And the amount of people who try to dog on it.
And exactly, and the amount of people who try. So that's why I say I will defend this movie with my life.
Same.
Because it, like I said, it opens up a huge conversation, and it opens up more opportunities for Asian actors and for Asian filmmakers and writers.
It shows that we can be as good.
Exactly. If a white man isn't going to tell our story, who is?
Exactly.
You know? We have to tell our own
fight.
story.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I also want to quickly pipe into, like, anybody's listening, like, our view is definitely a Western, Asian, Canadian American view.
Which is why this film works.
I know it's a very different topic in conversation for if you're in Asia, because you have the whole different. It's a whole another.
It's a whole different experience.
We haven't experienced as much, but like, yeah, we need to have this. Like, I love how the conversation's open, and then there was so much conversation, and like, despite all of the people finding every excuse under the sun to try to put this movie down, like, it succeeded so well. And like, even just seeing like
Laiba.
Hearing my brother's reaction about it, oh my god, like he's not like really one who really gets into media or portray. He's like, he follows the MCU and Star Wars and stuff, but he's not like media analysis focused. And then he's just like, oh my god, my jaw was on the floor the entire time. I went back, had to go see it again. Like, I didn't know it would mean that much to me to see someone like me doing this, and I'm like,
Exactly.
that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. Also,
And
all the
it-
little kids. That's why. Like
Yeah.
the costumes.
All the kids
that's
this
why.
year for
Like,
Halloween who dressed up as Shang-Chi. It was
yeah.
amazing.
That's
And the
why.
little kids who dressed up as Jilin as well.
Yeah. Like, and it's like the people who critique it. I think Johnny, you said this in one of your videos where you're like, you seem like the type of person who has never
Gone
had to
through our
fight
experiences.
for representation. You
Yeah.
never know what it's like. You never had to get into actual arguments with people
Mhm.
and say, no, you don't understand. And going back to like what Victoria said, like, yeah, our point of views are more westernized, but we also grew up with parents who grew up in that type of
Mhm.
culture, you know, so that rubs off on us, which also gets affected on by, you know, our life in school, our life around friends. So it's definitely that split type of perspective.
Our experiences bring that much extra nuance
Exactly.
to whatever surface level stuff you think you might understand all the way through, but in reality you truly don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it's
that's
like that
Mhm.
quote from the movie where Michelle Yeoh says, you are a product of all who came before
Yes.
you, but you
Yeah.
have to make it your own, you know?
Mhm.
I love that line.
I go,
Yeah.
I
And then when like his mom says like you gotta take both what your father and what I've given you from his mom.
and make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, this movie definitely gives like a stake in like a lot of my arguments now, and like just gives me a place to stand. And I'm the aggressor. Obviously, I've always been on the trend of like calling people out on their bullshit.
I've been trying to be meaner
Um,
lately. People keep saying I'm too nice on it.
Johnny, you are too nice. You just gotta go for the head. All right, go straight for the neck. You gotta just snap someone's neck
I am
immediately.
Canadian, thank you.
And it's just I am the aggressor. Like everyone always likes to say like, oh, like well, we shouldn't fight being so aggressive. Why not? I've been so angry for so long. Everyone's been so angry for so long. What's wrong with being passionate about talking what you like, or talking about like what's a part of you? There's nothing wrong with it. And like I'll defend this movie until I'm dead. I'll defend this movie because it sucks because we won't see the result of it. Like not in our lifetime are we ever going to see enough representation to the point where like it's sufficient, because we have like what 200 years of like media that we got to make up for, on top of even more oppression that happened even before media. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way in a lifetime like we're ever going to see the repercussions of what we're fighting for today. And I just it makes me angry, you know? Like it makes me angry. I got like that Seeps video I did like 3 months ago. I still have people commenting just like racially motivated comments. I still have people.
I still get those
Right.
on
It's
you
not
know
that
which.
deep.
It's not that deep.
Yeah,
It's not
it
that
is
Why are you
important.
making
It's
it
our
about race?
it's our lives.
Like,
How is it not that deep?
Everybody wants to talk about how great superheroes are and how cool they are, but the moment you want to talk about what they're
You
standing
bring
up
in
for,
one of them
you
with a
immediately
person of
try
color.
to unjustify it. Like it's not that important. It's like, but it was important to you like 5 seconds ago. Why is it not important now?
Yeah.
Just because the conversation makes you
Exactly.
uncomfortable? That sucks for you. I've been uncomfortable
Because
my
we're calling
whole.
you out.
Yeah, it's like I've been uncomfortable
Exactly.
my whole
We're challenging
life.
your views.
Yeah.
We're being loud.
Yeah, and it's like
that's the most important thing. Is we like that's how we all got here. Is we're being loud. We have to be loud. That's the only way to like have these conversations, get this representation and everything in the media to continue. It's like we have to be loud. We have to advocate for it. We have to like call the people out when they're say something that's a little bit less thoughtful than they originally thought, or something they grew up differently, and like it's very important. But like I think that the movie, it came out at an important time. Like it felt like such
Especially
a win
after COVID.
Yeah, like there was a good chunk of 2020 and 2021 where I was uncomfortable to leave my house. Like early days, I'm like, if I wear a mask, then people will know I'm probably Asian because only Asian people wear masks, and then she's sick or whatever, or like or like every time I wore a mask, like maybe if I wear sunglasses, then
something like that,
then maybe they don't know. And like
I remember
like,
when the pandemic first started, actually. Like, I got into an elevator and I sneezed because I have spring allergies to pollen.
And
one dude immediately got out of the elevator.
Yeah, like I'm like it's such a like the movie succeeding was just a nice breath of fresh air, such a win. And felt supported at least by a lot of peers and stuff that we didn't get the last couple years.
Yeah.
because of the pandemic and
We've
fear
seen
mongering
Asian people just be
and
absolutely assaulted and just have
Exactly.
nothing done.
even like
And-
early pandemic when the grocery stores were still closed, my mom went to the H Mart nearby to pick up groceries because why not? And like, I guess I mean it is a thing when you're white, people will just also assume
Oh,
you might be racist. But like a guy was yelling and accosting at her. It's like, why are you gonna support them? They brought this, like, and she was just going to grow. It's like, why not?
What's wrong with you, dude? First
Mm.
off.
And there's a lyric in, I think it was Lazy Susan,
Yeah.
which always
I
hit
made it through 2020.
2020. I could go through anything.
Yeah.
I bet. I love that line.
Such an empowering line for us, I think.
That's the line of
'Cause,
my
like,
life.
exactly.
I would live
Even-
it my entire life.
Even with COVID, like being outside is scary, but like we are all visibly Asian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's always so scary to like when, especially in the peak of that time, like having, because my dad travels for work, having my dad travel for work, I'm like that's scary. Having my mom go out for groceries, I'm like, no, I have to come with you because
Mhm.
what if something happens?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I live in the Texas of Canada. It is
Yeah.
terrifying.
Texas
Like
slash
it's
Florida.
so scary. Exactly. Like
It's yeah, I don't know. I really had to force myself to go out in early pandemic, or else I was really picking up some agoraphobic tendencies because I was terrified of the people around me, of like
Mhm.
what they would do. And it's like, yeah, I'm mixed half white and stuff, but like I've never passed as white. Like
mhm.
that was never that, like, white passing is a new term. Oh, like a little mini rant. White passing is a new term. Doesn't, like, for most of the time doesn't really exist. Like I've, at least to me,
Mhm.
I've never white passed because people will always identify me. Oh, you're not quite
You're not-
Asian. You're
yeah.
you're not quite white. You're not quite anything. So like I'm just like I am very much accepting and like
Mhm.
coming to peace. And like, no, I am a person of color. I am very much Asian because that's how the world sees me.
Mhm.
In this very white supremacy world of if you have one drop of colored blood, like you're not white anymore. You're not seen as
Exactly.
white. You're treated differently. So like it really was a wake up call. But I don't know. This movie just felt like a hug.
It did. Just a warm embrace from an aspect
After
of our
all
life
of
that we
that.
have been missing
Yeah.
for so long, that we have honestly earned, as well as those before us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, that now you guys know why we want you to go watch this movie. If you decide
Yeah.
to watch this movie
Oh,
without, or watch it or listen to this podcast without watching the movie, this
Go
is
watch
why
the
we want
movie.
you to watch the movie. So now
Watch
go
the
watch
freaking
the
movie.
movie after hearing us talk about
Watch it, please.
Yes.
Yes.
And then watch it again. Watch it
Share it
more
to
than
your
I'm able
friends, share
to.
it
If you
to
can
your
beat
family.
me
And
out
then-
of it, then you've won.
And then
My
write
real Luna says watch it.
yeah, and then write an email to Kevin
Simu?
Feige at no. Well,
Oh.
yeah, you know what?
Say
Write
thank
an
you.
email to Simu too. Say thank you, and then mention that we need Gabriel Luna to come back as Robbie Reyes. in
We
the MCU.
also need a Filipino superhero. Just
Oh, we
saying,
also
we need.
do. Oh, God, what's her name? Johnny, you help me
What?
out here. What's the
From
Filipino?
the United States of Captain America.
Yeah, Adialak
Yeah.
Vianney. Yeah,
There we
man.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
But yeah, do we have any final thoughts?
Bring Gabriel Luna back to the MCU. That's.
Stop it.
We're already in the MCU. We're already canon,
We're
Nick.
canon. Nick.
I gotta
We're
speak for
canon.
my Latino people, all right? Like they need a win here. We got America Chavez. We need Robbie back. Okay, like that's
We need Robbie.
we
back.
need Robbie back. But
Still
no,
want
like
White
go see
Tiger.
the movie. If you say this movie sucks, ask yourself why do you think that it sucks? Really,
And
then
honestly,
ask
you
yourself
better
why 3
bring
more times,
good
and then you might
arguments
get
to
there.
us.
yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
and give
just
us valid reasons.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't just say
like,
you don't like it because it was bad. No, don't be that shithead.
Yeah, you're fighting an uphill battle. Okay, like there's
Yeah.
really like all you're saying to me if you don't like this movie is like you just lack empathy. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, like if you don't like
Yeah,
this
like
movie,
ask yourself why 5 times.
If you still don't like it, talk to an Asian person about it.
uncomfortable
Get
and
uncomfortable.
really get uncomfortable with it. Like, sure, like
Get
if
out
you
of
read
your
it, would be
safe
like, oh,
space.
it's like, yeah, it doesn't have to be your favorite movie,
it doesn't.
Yeah,
no.
absolutely.
but
Absolutely
like to outright just say this is a terrible movie.
To
Point
say it's
blank, for
bottom
no
3
reason,
MCU
it's-
movies, just
You're lying. Racially
You're
motivated.
lying.
Racially motivated.
You have
Racially
a
motivated.
fucking arm up your ass controlling that brain and mouth of yours.
Racially motivated. I'll call you out.
But yeah,
Racially
it
motivated.
doesn't have to be your favorite, but like just ask yourself why 5 times.
Genuinely do some critical thinking.
Yes.
But adding on to that, like, yeah, watch the movie, share it with your family. It's very much a family movie, even if you might not get all the little cultural significant references. That's fine. That's okay. That's fine.
right.
You don't need to. It's a story about family, siblings, parents, loss, love.
If you have daddy
It's all
issues,
good.
Because you know what?
this movie's also for you.
You know what? We've been doing that since we were born. All right, we've had to adjust our views, our relations
Exactly.
to movies
had
that
to
were
compensate
not
for the
for
white
us.
man.
Yourself onto
Yeah.
people who might
Yeah.
not look like
Yeah.
you, and that's
We've been doing
Okay.
it for years. We're
And-
used to it. Your turn.
And another thing, fuck Spider-Man. No, not actually.
No.
We're not going that far.
No.
At least not
Hey,
Andrew.
you know what?
I mean,
Hey,
we'll literally fucking
forget
but, like,
Spider-Man. All right, he's
Listen,
outdated.
listen,
Everything about him.
Spidey
bro-
fans. Listen, Spidey fans. Okay, I do not associate with these guys. I'm just saying. I'm kidding.
Wait, did you say these guys or just Nick?
There's
Hey,
more than
listen,
Peter
we got
Parker out
Silk.
there.
we have
Silk.
Oh, that is
Silk.
Silk.
We got our
Silk is pretty
Korean,
good, yeah.
Korean girl.
Yeah. So,
She is Korean, yes.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
trying
She's
to remember
Korean.
for the life of me. Yeah.
But yeah. Also, if you like the movie, be loud about it.
Yeah.
Be loud, support it.
Tweet at
Tag us,
Marvel and
tell us your
CMU
review.
and at us. Make a video about it. Just post about it. I don't know.
Tell us how
Just
much you love this film.
rate it on Letterboxd or something.
Yeah.
I don't
Write
know,
it in
but-
your Apple podcast review, even.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Apple
Yeah,
Podcast
yeah.
review. Yeah.
Tell
Yeah,
us-
give it.
Tell everyone how good Shang-Chi is in the Apple podcast.
Tell us
review
your
if you
favorite
want.
part of Shang-Chi or
Yeah.
why we convinced you to watch it or something, because it's important. We love to see it. We love to hear
Tell
it.
us you
And
don't like the
the
more
movie,
you-
but give us 5
The
stars.
more love you give
Yes.
on this movie, it matters so much to each and every one of us
Mhm.
who advocate for this movie so much, because
Yes.
it's just nice to see that we're supported and the movie is supported and Simu is supported, and it's just
To say the least, if this is the last Asian or Chinese superhero we get
I will literally fight
or
somebody.
anything,
I will literally fight
in many
somebody.
ways, we failed.
I will end somebody's
So
life.
don't let us
I will
fail.
hit up my boy Gabe and be like, "What the fuck's going on in Marvel? You need to, you need to go make some noise over there,
You
dog."
need to ride in there in a
Bestie.
hell charger
You
and
need
just
to ride in
run
there on a
everyone
Hell
over.
Charger, Get Kevin Feige in the backseat and make him understand that this is not enough.
This will never be enough.
Never be enough. No.
we gotta thank Kevin.
We do have to
Feige,
thank Kevin
because
Yeah.
Feige.
Okay,
He's
Kevin.
been
once he
wanting
got
to do
more
this story for a
control,
while.
All
yeah.
right, Kevin. You get your pass today.
You passed the vibe check.
Check.
Kevin.
Pass the
You
vibe
and your
check today
hats
now.
passed the vibe.
Vibe check.
Honestly,
get,
I do want his hats.
get more hats, dog. All right. There's
Can,
more.
can we
than
get some hats too?
Yeah.
I have
Hey.
a compilation video of his hats. I do gotta say.
Oh, sick. I gotta see that. That
Okay,
sounds
I need to
fun.
find it then.
Okay, cool.
But yeah,
All
so
right.
if you do want to tell us how amazing Shang-Chi is, how life-affirming, how life-changing it is, here's our social media outlets to contact us. Nick, would you like to start us off?
I'm Super Nikender. You can follow me on TikTok at Amazing Nikender. I will change that soon. But yeah, I talk about
keep
Robbie
saying.
Reyes and Asian representation. I'm also have my commissions open to help support
Yes.
getting a wedding photographer for my wedding. I got the deposit down. I'm really happy about that. Thank you so much for everybody who supported me. Marmar, Ash, Chloe, and Linda for getting to my goal. I'm trying to make this happen. I'm trying to make this a good wedding. So my
His
commissions.
commissions are amazing.
No, thank you.
They
He
are.
does all of our art. and
Yeah.
He
he's
does
so
all of
good.
our art. Nick does
Caricatures
all of our
and-
art. If you guys like how
Listen.
cute our art is,
Listen, Robbie
Robbie
Gabriel-
Reyes. Hey,
Gabriel
Gabriel
Luna
Luna.
likes Nick's
It's art.
art,
Yeah, so that's
okay?
gotta mean something.
Gabriel
Um,
Luna signed his name on Nick's
Yeah.
art.
Yeah.
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 But
That's
yeah.
when you know it's good.
Commissions are open. They will be linked in the description of this episode. And yeah, help me get to an amazing wedding. Laiba?
Library did her part with the gifts.
Yeah.
I
Thank you,
did.
Laiba. Thank you,
Your
Laiba.
Your
wedding
wedding
gifts.
That's your wedding gift.
I'll have a little memorial for you. Just be like, thanks, thanks, Laiba.
Not dead.
Okay, I'll put a Morris plushie there, like thank you, Laiba, and I'll take
Kind
a
of like
picture.
some
Trying.
incense.
Yeah, yeah.
And I am Laiba Hazara, also known as Mixed and Anxious on TikTok. I speak about Asian representation. Currently speaking about how Druig and I should be together, but Nick is not letting me do that.
No.
So
No,
My
sorry.
beautiful, beautiful Makari.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No.
Victoria? Oh, you just did the ASL.
Yeah.
I just
You know
noticed.
what? Yeah, coming back to me. You know, I'm Victoria Organa everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I have an underscore there. Talk, MCU, representation, anything nerdy. You can find me there. And yeah. Follow me.
Nick, please don't dab.
Nick, no.
And I am the marvelous Johnny. I have been your host for today. That is marvelous with 2 L's. Yes, I will never stop saying that. There's an underscore between marvelous and Johnny on my Instagram, and just marvelous Johnny, one word, on my TikTok. That's where the majority of my content is. I did recently get a Twitter. It's just marvelous with 2 L's underscore JON. Someone took marvelous Johnny, which bothers me. Marvelous John. That is cool. But nonetheless, we have been the voices of Atlas. Thank you for listening to our Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings episode. It has meant so much to us. Hope you guys watch it. Hope you guys like this episode. And we will talk to you guys next time.
All
Bye.
right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.